Yeah, it's a lot of chat activity for one person. Actually,
I was excited that I got home early. That's all.
but you need more excitement in your life, son.
It's always nice to get home early.
What is going on, everybody? Here it is me, RDV, and I'm joined by Zach. Who's what time is it? You're not supposed to be here.
It is
Vader
8:06
time.
I know it was only 2 guys in Bible study today, and I was the third, so we got out.
So they kicked you out.
We cut it out.
All right. And then once again, we're graced by Joe Geek Show.
What's going on, gents?
Live, 14 hours ahead of us.
Oh, yes. And drinking a Japanese energy drink. Look at that.
It's at 10 in the morning.
G-Zone.
What's the
Neat.
Ghostbusters? What's the Ghostbuster thing there?
Oh, the can's cold.
Is that the ones where it has the little ball, the little glass ball or whatever that you push down into it?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Ramune soda?
Yeah. I've seen those.
Mm-hmm.
Zach hears balls and drinks, and he's like, I want to try it.
No. God, no.
Ramune, actually, with the right flavor, is actually pretty good. I mean, they got watermelon, strawberry, cherry.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, let's go on to Evil Black Cat saying meow, motherfuckers. All right, I guess.
Let's not introduce the oldest, most senior member of our panel. Let's just skip over him, right?
Well, he figured if he forget, I would forget I was here.
Well, I was letting him calm down a little bit. He was a little bit dusty. He was almost dust in the wind before we started.
That's a little too on the nose.
He had to clean his pet dinosaur.
No, he was sneezing and it's coming out as sandpaper. What's going on, Eric?
10,000 comedians out of work, and I found 3 of them.
These jokes are free.
That's right. We're doing something wrong then if we're giving away the jokes for free.
Well, these are the ones that nobody
Well,
likes.
that's why you're giving them away for free, Zach.
Oh, well, the ratings is here early, says Marani. It must be freezing over.
It's not Louisiana that's freezing, I'll tell you that. It's not here.
Nope. Hell is still burning. California is still alive. Or not California, sorry.
Canada.
It's Canada. Canada is on fire still. I wish they would put that out. I mean, we sent firefighters from New York and some other states. Send Joe Biden over there and it'll stop, right? Yeah.
I did like the tweet I saw the other day where President Biden announces that by 2025, all forest fires will be electric.
Well, I mean, lawnmowers here are now electric.
Wait, what?
They're selling. Home Depot, Lowe's are pushing.
Oh, yeah, the electric lawnmowers. They just started pitching those at the PX on base.
No, thank you.
You know, I saw a commercial. Yeah, Kevin Bacon's doing electric car commercials now and doing, just 16 minutes and you can be 80% charged. Who the F wants to spend that long at a gas station? Oh, I'm sorry, a charging station.
Yeah, that's...
I don't know. Somebody.
When the guy was traveling across Texas, it takes him like 8 different charge ports for half an hour each.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not against them. I'm just saying that is not the selling point I would use.
Yeah.
Hey, if you got a half hour to kill now, I do know that some of the gas stations you go to now, you can actually watch TV as you're getting gas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that's another. Not sure how much sense that makes. How long does it take to fill your tank, especially with these prices?
I don't know. I guess go get those hydroelectric cars. The ones where they have the gas, your gasoline option, or you can use electricity.
I'm gonna devolve. I'm gonna go back to a horse because I got all the grass I need in my yard. I can feed that thing and just
get a goat.
Ride it. Well, I can't ride a goat. I can't ride a goat. I can ride a horse. There's not a goat big enough for me to ride.
All right, excuse me. I have a question. Once you get from point A to point B, where do you park a horse?
You just tie up. Just tie it up outside the front door.
And nothing bad will happen to it or anybody.
Somebody stole my horse.
I don't know.
A horse.
Just lock it down to a bike rack. The reins. Just
that's what you do. You get a bike chain.
Just use the the club. they have your steering wheel. You just figure out the use of that. When someone comes up trying to steal, you beat them with the club.
There you go. Oh no! You hope that the thief is dumb enough to stand right behind the horse and then watch him get kicked in the face. Because I bet you none of them would know that. You don't stand directly behind a horse.
Aranius, going back to comic books, what we're supposed to talk about, it says get 4 goats and you can ride a chariot.
Oh, there's an idea. I like that. Thor only used 2.
Yeah, but I mean, you can look and look and look, and you're never going to find more than 3 flying goats.
And they're never the same. You can never find the correct. They're different off-brands goats.
And they all scream. They're all screaming goats. I want the silent goats.
All right, guys. Let's go. I guess we'll start showing off some books. But hello to Jughead as well, and anybody else who might be watching this unfortunate mess.
What are you talking about? We're going to be talking about new comics. This might have been the highlight.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I had a few good ones this week.
So, Breen, that means you had to turn off your TV.
No,
Unless are the Reds winning?
they're not playing.
Oh, okay.
No.
They did move the time up tomorrow to 5 o'clock to accommodate the Swifties.
Oh, nice. All right. I think I have 13 books here.
13?
Good God.
Good Lord, man! I got 3.
13 because
I was gonna say. I mean, I looked at the comics this week. It seemed like it was gonna be a really late week.
Yeah.
I'm
curious.
Yeah. So, books I've been reading just finally are now ending, and then random Xenoscope books that just happen to fly out whenever they want to. There's no set date. All right, my number 13 is the Wesley Snipes book, The Exiled. This is got one more issue after this. I gotta say, I would rather watch this as a movie because this is a B-level movie kind of book. It's slightly above mid, but man, turn this into a video game or turn it into a movie even with Wesley Snipes, man. I don't care. I don't see it. So it's all about aliens basically living amongst us, and it's basically the better plot of Secret Invasion. The better Secret Invasion, as it's saying, than the Disney one. Basically, a cop finds out his father was involved in a secret project, and he is basically friends with these aliens or refugees, and there's these humans that basically did not want the aliens here whatsoever. So they've been every time a ship arrives, they've been shooting down the ship, and he finds out they basically, in order to basically create a perfect bond with these aliens, he's basically like his father experimented on him a little bit when he was a kid. So yeah, he's be able to turn into like a kind of like Meryl. If you remember Meryl from the X-Men, how she had the bones.
Oh yeah,
the
bone
got
thorn.
he's got stuff like that where the things out. So all this time growing up, he thought he was kind of crazy, going on. He was having visions or stuff like that. His wife ended up divorcing him because he was crazy. Turns out he's not. So last issue they tried to the evil people tried to kill her, and now he's basically she came with them. You can see those claws going through his 6 inches of steel. And I love what she says, it's like because he's like, I'm sorry, I get your against me. He's like, you go to safe house. She's like, screw that, come with you. And she's like, and she's like, don't you think I want to get back together with you? Because she's already moved on. So I'm curious if they're gonna have it like where she's gonna want to get back together with the end of this or not. But point is that they're basically now we're getting to the main arc, the main battle. They're going with all the I guess a secret organization called Core, and they end up being surrounded at the end. But I mean, you can see a little bit of him, like what he looks like when he mutates. So heavy on the sci-fi, action, suspense, a little bit of humor. This is Wesley Snipes and Adam Lawson and Keith Arem are doing the story. And art's by Gabriel Escovo Santos. So yeah, this is they're gonna get in here. This is by What's Not, and the cool thing about this, and every single chapter issue, there is a thing. It could be it's called a QRC code. and you can scan it, and it basically gives you music to listen to while you're reading this,
Ah,
which is a really cool thing.
kind of
Interesting.
inventive.
Yeah. I remember trying to think, there was another book, and I remember our friend, my late friend Skip was telling me about that.
Was
They
it
were
Homesick
doing-
Pilots?
It might have been Homesick Pilots
I think it was
doing
Homesick Pilots.
They had
Yeah.
soundtracks, and then there was the other one we just Ash was talking about. They had a soundtrack too. That was Samurai Doggy.
Oh, I thought it was
So,
a Daniel Warren Johnson book.
well, I
Yeah,
know
I
Samurai
thought-
Doggy has his own soundtrack. No.
Yeah.
And then look at Tim's doing with Count America, and Count America has his own soundtrack now too. That for his,
Yeah.
graphic novels. All right, my number 12 is Warlock Rebirth. Basically, Doctor Strange is guest appears in this issue to basically to go into Adam Warlock's mind and convince him that he needs to leave this paradise. Basically, get off your ass, go fight the freaking evil Eve Warlock, who basically thinks that she's the better version.
Oh, so she's actually a villain.
Yeah, she has the soul gem, which ripped from his forehead. Kind of what Vision had in the MCU. So basically took that and put it on her own forehead. And she's like, you basically haven't been using, you're doing what you're supposed to do, what you're originally created for. Like, so she's supposed to be the new improved version. It's also revealed, because this is during Infinity Watch, so Pip has the space stone. So allows him to go. But yeah, pretty much at the end, they have a little showdown. He says that I don't want to hurt you. And she's like, you're beneath me. And then they fight. And then it kind of goes on a cliffhanger ending. But all right, number 11, Hell to Pay, final issue. I found this is supposed to be the devil. That's literally because this guy basically wanted to get rid of capitalism. Yes, Charles Soule, thank you for this book. This has been a treat. He wanted to get the money is rid of all evil. He's like, I want. He's basically was killing people and turning their souls into these dinar, or I guess these I forgot they're called coins, basically soul coins, and he used that to basically make deals with bargains. Basically help throughout. I guess because you've heard of crossroad demons, right? If you've anybody watched Supernatural, you make a wish and stuff, and it does for you, but then it comes the price.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these little coins, you have enough of them collecting, and then you can summon a demon. And this one guy's been collecting $1,000. He's like Scrooge McDuck with these coins. He gets a bunch, and he wants to basically at the end of this, he wants to basically, hey, I want to talk to your boss, and so he goes from demon to demon to demon to demon. Finally, finally summons the devil, and the devil's like, "You want me to destroy the system that I build up? Like, really? I'm doing this because hell's coming to Earth. I don't care about shit about you." And he just destroys the guy, and then like at the end, he spares the other two because she's married. He's like, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's some of the art on the inside, but other than that, Attack on Capitalism, it's okay book, I guess. Well, I mean, I miss it. Not really. It seems to have somewhat a happy ending, but then he's teasing for the Shrouded College. He's pushing his new book, Vampires in Space. This back in
Vampires
1967.
in Space. Life Force.
Yep, pretty much like Force. Yes. So yeah. So that's the next preview of the end is the Shrouded College book 2.
They found the Red Skull in space.
All right, number 10. Scorched. Did not know what to go into this because if those who have been following the series, what happens to She Spawn in the last episode, you're like, okay, what's going on? All of a sudden, she's back alive again. She pulled the Kamala Khan. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'll just say that I do like the fact that Spawn is actually getting more involved in his book. And he's being less of a dick. Sean Lewis does a script on here. But Tom McFarlane apparently has additional scripts. I don't know what he really contributes other than saying, let's do this. This would be kind of cool. Okay. And then Sean's like, what can I do that's not going to be like what he wants? Because I've noticed that when Sean Lewis writes these books, he writes them better than Tom McFarlane does on the main Spawn book. Then again, There are people who like the main Spawn all the way from the very beginning. I just never could get into it. This is kind of like an Avengers Spawn, assemble. And yeah, of course, there is these world eaters here, or these gods or ancient gods, and now they're down on Earth. One of them is an American senator, and he basically kills these people and turns them into a giant blood monster to do his bidding. He's hypnotizing everybody, turning them into his slaves. Yeah, like I said, I don't know where this book is going, but I do love the art in this. Yeah. So this is the teaser for the next one, July. I don't know. I liked it, but I've been liking these more lately. I don't know about you, Zach. When they first started out, it was kind of slow, but I started getting into it again.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just saying it had kind of a lull point, and now it's picking up. For me.
Yeah, no, definitely. This issue I thought was more interesting than several of the last ones.
All right, number 9 is Gretel. This is the book I did not even know was coming out this week. I go to my shop and he says like half the stuff that he they said on the websites aren't really what's coming out, because he's telling me, he's like, what I order is what's available when they give it for the thing. That's what it is. So he says don't pay attention to what's on the social media sites advertising, because they're always wrong. And it's true with League of Comic Geeks and some of the other ones. A lot of these books get pushed back the next week. Dave, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, it depends, because the werewolf only becomes a werewolf when the full moon is out, right?
Well,
so he would have to land on the light side of the moon. If he lands on the dark side of the moon, he's safe.
I wouldn't say he'd be alive. Wouldn't be barking up the moon anymore. He'd be dead. But all right. So basically, this starts off with a little bit of basically people are being trafficked, and Gretel and her companion decide to go and infiltrate and save these people, because the witches apparently are going around and just using people for cattle again, and they run into some trouble. They find another witch. And then as promised, we get cheesecake in here too. So better than the main Zenoscope book. I gotta say, that Grim Fairy Tale, for whatever reason, that book rarely has good art. But one of the because the facility they end up going to is they're witch hunters, and the witch hunter, and it's been compromised, and then taken over by some spirit, and it's possessing one of the members. And let's just say not get too close to her, because she has needles that do fly out of her too, and like stab people. But
what kind of prevert stuff are you reading?
This is tame compared to Tarot, sir.
That's tarot. You're going to be a prevert, at least pronounce it correctly.
Well, you said prevert, so that's why I said tarot.
I did. Now hush up. We're embarrassing Zach. I gave up Bible study for this.
I was gonna say it's basically, for those who know what Gretel is Hansel and Gretel. Her brother was killed. And Gretel is the one to survive by basically killing witches. She learned that she's able to be hunting down other witches, eating their hearts. She gains their abilities.
What happened to Hansel? That's
She ate him.
Oh, she ate him. Oh, okay.
No, he died.
He has his abilities.
The witch killed him.
We don't know. We don't know that for sure.
Nobody has Hansel's. If you want to know where Hansel is,
yeah, he'll be reading with us tomorrow night.
Fridays.
Hans will be reading with us tomorrow. See what I did there?
Yeah. So overall, fun book, Gretel, and as far as it's been a fun series. I do not know where this is going to eventually end. She's already killed the witch that killed her. That originally adopted her, the Candy Alice one. Already killed her, so they're continuing on. Number 8, 007.
You couldn't rate that one higher.
Why?
Really?
You don't like this?
So it would be 7.
You could have said it would be 007.
It would have been number 7 if it was one spot higher.
Missed
Zach.
opportunity.
Zach, get the apples.
Yes, I get to get the apples now.
No, we're gonna still spit them in your face, but it's
Son of a bitch.
I gotta say, this is the one book that I actually like by Kenny Johnson.
not bad.
Like I said, it must be DC that's holding him back, and as far as an
you're
Action
the only
Comics.
one that doesn't like Action Comics. You're right.
I like Post Crisis. I don't like Action. I don't like the new Action.
I like Post Crisis. I introduced you to Post Crisis. That doesn't mean other runs can't be good, just not Bendis's.
That's
That was
true.
bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
I read Philip Kennedy Johnson, and what does he do? He creates another female that's now a villain now.
Wait, who?
Uh,
the Metallo thing?
Metallo. We had and his wife. Now we have Metallo and his sister.
What is it with wives and sisters turning evil?
That's what I mean.
What is
That
it with surprise siblings? That's the bigger thing for me. What is it with siblings that just pop up all over
But you
the
know,
place?
but a writer we like, we give a pass to. He turns a 10-year-old girl into a freaking despot.
So, did you also notice though that in that same series that Metallo now is a hero? He's redemption. He had his redemption arc.
I haven't read the last issue yet.
I didn't.
Way to spoil.
I haven't
Way to-
read any
way
at
to
all.
spoil
I
it
guess
for
we don't
him,
need to
Bateman.
now.
Yeah.
Anybody want to give me a
I
buck for my
saved you.
copy?
Like I said, I'm waiting for the Jan Jurgens better Lois and Clark to hit.
But you have to read through the first story, then get to the Dan Jurgens, where he turns 10-year-old little girls into vicious killers.
Yeah, and they whip their hair back and forth. All right, so honestly, this is continuation of what's been going on in the main first five. Focus. James Bond is basically wanted by everybody that holds our world. They think he's a traitor to MI6. Bond is trying to escape with Gan 003. They manage to get slip out there. He decides to go undercover. Thanks to Gan's, I guess, her friend, who's the former Q, who's retired, gives him a new face, like a mask to wear over. He goes to see Felix Leiter, who ends up betraying him. Basically, Quantum of Solace, right? I think I can't remember.
A little bit.
I haven't seen that
But
movie.
not really betrayed him. He says there's something you need to know about Gan that she's not telling you. What? The woman he thinks he can trust may not be up and up all in front with him?
Remember,
What?
it's like Cliff Clavin said, dame's his grief, Sammy.
So I've been liking this. Now I understand you're not a fan of the art, but I mean, I still like it. I still prefer action stuff. I don't
It's
mind
not
it.
bad. No, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
It's very flat.
Well,
I
it's not-
I wish it were a bit more dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, the top part doesn't look too bad. It's the bottom part where it's kind of losing me a bit with
Where
the
it
yellows
takes
there.
the color out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been reading nonstop for almost 50 years, and I've seen back then, 50 years ago, almost all the art had more dimension to it, and I'm sure hell they're probably making more comparatively 50 years ago too. But again, that's not. Those of us that are paying $5 a book now, I think, have a right to expect more.
Yeah, I agree with
it's
you.
There's a certain style to it. Yeah, I don't hate it, but
And I'm not telling anybody that they're wrong if they disagree, because it's just it doesn't do it for me.
All right. For number
You
7.
know what might do it for you? Go read Ninja Act #1 by Javier Pulido. There you go.
Yeah, I'm right on that. In fact, when I saw that, my first instinct was, "Oh, it's better than Javier Pulido," and because I remember that was a thing.
Every time I see artwork that I kind of don't like, I just tell myself, at least it's not Javier
But
Pulido
I heard
with that
somebody
Ninja Act #1.
Yeah, I heard somebody that likes him said, "Well, he phoned that in because his page rate was awful." And he said, if you want to see him, what he can really do, and they referenced a different book. I can't remember what it was.
Well,
though.
that's why Robert Masso does. He doesn't. He just phones it in because they don't pay him enough.
Yeah, I'm thinking that may not matter in his case.
Yeah, but did you ever see that Ninja Act #1 from a few years ago?
I saw a couple pages were posted. No, that was it was terrible.
All right. Which James Bond voice are you reading? Man, I've been reading in Daniel Craig's voice. I have to go back and watch the Bond original stuff to get that, because my Bond was always Timothy Dalton, and I only did like 2 movies.
Pierce Brosnan. I think Pierce Brosnan. From seeing the covers, I get a Pierce Brosnan vibe.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan was always my number one.
Yeah.
Of course, and again, that's my era. That's when I was growing up. Goldeneye was the first Bond movie I ever saw. So
it does feel like Die Another Day, but also feels like Quantum of Solace, where he goes rogue after Eva's, Green's killed. The next Bond movie after that, after Casino Royale. But so my number 7 has been a fun book. I recommend you guys like this stuff. Saturday Morning Adventures. This is by Eric Burnham. Continuing, it's just issue 2. I say episode 2. It feels like an episode. It feels like a cartoon. The way they write it, everything. He even gives a small recap by April O'Neil at the very beginning.
Wait a minute. I thought she was
White.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I thought she was black and plus size now.
And then the great thing about this, for those who are a fan of the cartoon series,
I didn't say fat.
For those who are a fan of the cartoon series from the 80s, I read everything with like their voices, the voice actors. Shredder is Uncle Phil. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So the Turtles are on the.
I'm picturing him beating the shit out of Carlton right now.
Throwing Jazz out of the house.
Yeah, literally, that's what he does. It's like if Krang was Jazz, and he's constantly like this angry at him all the time. He's like, can't stand you.
Throws him out of the Technodrome.
Yeah. Well, right now in this series, the Technodrome is lost to Dimension X, so the Shredder and Krang are working for a way to get their stuff back. That's why Krang. There's too many Krangs. His body along the Technodrome is stuck in Dimension X, so he's basically like so this is a continuation. They're trying to find a way they're back to get their stuff back, and the Turtles are under the control of the Rat King. Because the Rat King was exposed to more. What do you call it? That secret
mutagen?
Mutagen, yeah. That one of the rats brought him, like, his minions brought him in, and then he lost control of the rats, but then he realized he has control over the turtles. So he makes turtles dress in giant mouse costumes, and rob the place.
Yeah, that sounds like a cartoon, all right.
It is a cartoon, man.
Well, maybe after the next Turtle series, they'll turn that into the next animated show.
Yeah, so the Turtles basically are trying to find a way to free their brother and Donatello, who got tased last issue by April O'Neil, broke the Rat King's basically his spell over him, and he modified it so now it shoots like a freaking look how long the taser goes. The funny thing is, Michelangelo, even under the control of the lizard, or not, that's the Lat King. I want to call him the Lizard King now. He's still the same personality, which is hilarious because all the other ones are kind of like more angry, mean Leonardo Raphael, and he's just like still just his goofy self. So pretty much, the Turtles end up winning. Rat King goes into basic prison, and we're left with wondering what's going to happen next. I mean, I do love some of these alternative covers that they had, Joe. So, all right, my number 6, Vampires versus Bars. This is Dan Emmett.
Nice.
With Pascal Colando. Zach, you should be reading this. This is 1948 on Projection 1948. Everything is in the 40s. Vampire forced to go against gangsters. You see? It is fun.
See?
Yeah, she. They're all. There's the evil boss in here. He's called his name Mr. Fix. Not because of Mr. Fix It, although they have name dropped him, called him Fix It once or twice in the previous issue. And basically, he wants to know why is this dame Ella Redding? Why is she calling us in trouble? Because he wants a club to push his drugs. His drugs being that basically gives people some actual like superpowers, a taste of it, and they get addicted to it. It's only brief. And we got the other special division agents, basically from the S squad or S division, are wondering who the heck is this woman? Basically, why is she like going? Oh, she has no history. She has a funny accent, like a European accent. Because remember, she's supposed to be. I guess she's supposed
He's
to be British.
also wearing less clothing than Tarzan. In the 40s, that would be scandalous.
Less clothing than Tarzan. What are you talking about?
Vampirella?
That's just the cover.
Oh, okay. She's not dressed like that inside.
No.
Well, darn. Now I don't have an incentive to buy the book anymore. Now that I know the inside.
What stopped you from doing that with the Fantastic Four?
What are you talking about?
Now you know what's inside. Why are you still reading it?
Because it's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm entertained.
Because hey, RDV.
Yeah.
What's Zach's favorite fruit?
You know, it's always been that way with Zach. Zach,
Apples.
I just don't understand you.
He loves
It's like-
apples.
I actually like pears.
Zach-
That one's the real
Zach,
answer.
I wish you were cool, but you're not.
Oh, come on. You actually did a full-size version of that? That's disgusting. I have to endure that on a bigger screen now.
with Zach's face.
See what I go through?
I did pick up.
There's a way to stop this, Zach.
All right, we're getting my number 5. I did pick up 3 and 4 of the Usagi.
Oh, nice. I like
I
the
didn't get a
cover in
chance-
your. I like the one in your left hand. I guess the black. Yeah, that one.
That is
like
number
that.
3. That's the Kevin Eastman.
Ah, that's why it looks so
Yeah,
good.
and
Pretty
this is,
rad.
this is the main cover here for number 4, which is also a wraparound.
Ooh, neat. And no Jenica, right?
Don't worry, she'll show up somehow.
Somebody's got to save him.
Right. So I did pick up that. You know, I haven't get 4 came out this week, and because I didn't get a chance to read 3 from the week before because the ship delayment and all that stuff from the semi truck tipping over, or sorry, head on collision. I wasn't a tip over. But there is one really cool thing, and as Brian said, it's the 3rd time they've probably done a reprint of this, but I've never owned it. Not even, so I just picked it up, man. This is awesome.
Nice.
It's the reprint version for $4. Comes with all the ads in the back. I have this in the Epic collection. I have it on the CD-ROM collection. I have I have all these other ways to read it if I want to. But man, I've never had a physical book, and I can only imagine what it goes for, Breen.
Not
original?
nearly as much as 121, but it's not cheap.
But
I'd
if it's over $20,
Oh yeah, I mean it's
Gotta be.
you can get a pretty good copy of it for like 200.
wow, look at that. The late great John Romita's art. Love it.
Yep. Perfecto.
I believe that's Ramita Ink and Kane.
Yes. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct. It is the great one. Gil Kane is the artist, and I forgot. Yeah, John Romita is doing the inking along with Tom Mortello Earl.
I rescind what I just said.
What
it
did you
is-
finally say something cool?
I mean, how can you go wrong with that giant nose shot? It is awesome.
So, Zach, how much of your day do you spend looking for ways not to be cool?
They just find me.
That's, boy,
I
they
look-
must,
It's
they must
90
spend a lot of time looking.
It's 95 degrees outside. It's impossible to be cool here.
I just can't leave Zach alone. That's like that guy with Brittany, Chris.
Yeah, leave Brittany alone. Yeah, that's what I thought of too.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome if Zach showed up tomorrow night with like half his head shaved?
That won't happen.
And it's blue.
That definitely won't happen.
All right. Number 5 is like I say, this is an Andy Diggle book. Expanse, Dragon Tooth. I will not open this book because there's people who have not finished the show yet. This is huge spoilers for what happened in the actual TV
We
series.
found a book he won't spoil.
Except for this part right here. No. But I'll just real quickly, without saying any context, however, this is the art style. So it looks exactly just like the people in the show. Why they couldn't do this with a Bond, I don't know why. But
What you mean? There's a difference?
there is a difference between this and Bond. This actually looks like the people from the show.
Okay, well, I said it's still flat and lifeless. No, I'm not being funny this time. I mean that's like again.
I agree with this one.
That-
It looks glossier too, which is a little weird for me.
Breen. The only thing you would have said that is that you said this is flat and lifeless. If we add an L to you, you'd be the same.
Wait, what? Oh, wait. I think he just called you fat and dead, Brain.
I was trying to beat you, Brad Cat.
Dang.
He must have choked on the apple he was trying to spit on me.
That's what you get. Wasting food.
And talking about books you read with the characters' voices, this is one I really do read with the voices of the characters. With Amos and all the other ones on here too. It is just a fun series, and I honestly I was sad when they decided to cancel the show on Amazon Prime. But this is like the continuing season afterwards. So set a year afterwards after the events, the season finale.
Okay.
Check it. Damn, RDV. It's like you guys never been here. How many times I've made like jokes at Eric's expense before?
Yeah, and yes, it keeps showing up because once in a while they land.
Boom.
All right. Number 4. Green Arrow. We get to see Bendis' Legion of Superheroes in this.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
disinterested.
Oh, Jesus.
The Lash.
Already disinterested.
Yeah, you can stop now. Yeah, well, do us a favor. Review one from the Grell series instead.
Connor's in here. He gets a reunion with his father, but this is the main right here.
To be fair, that's the most that you do see of them. Like it's just one big thing like that.
There's one problem with that.
Yeah.
That's 3 pages too many.
Turns out that not only was he lost on another planet, but he is our other universe, that he was actually in the 31st century this whole entire time.
Who was?
No.
Connor?
They just got
Or
there
they
at the start of this. They just got there at the beginning of this issue because the end of the last issue they got portaled out of the planet they were on.
See now, here's the you could have all those different good versions of the Legion you could have chosen from, and they made him use Bendis's. Yeah, that to me that's a huge black mark on Dawn of DC. And I'm not kidding.
Wilder, because she's the reason why this is happening, because something that Oliver did. Oliver,
That still doesn't. Yeah, like I said, that doesn't
Yeah,
excuse the Legion though.
I'm not
Breen
so-
says inexcusable.
I mean,
I'll let-
are
I'll-
the Wonder Twins going to be in the next issue?
No, but we got old man Oliver Queen though. In this issue.
Gee, I hope he hooks up with old lady Harley and then gets killed by old lady Ivy, and then we don't have any more issues.
Overall, like I said, I've been having fun with this. I was surprised though when the villain showed up.
Oh God. It's not rocket science.
No, but they did bring Josh Williams decided to bring back a villain or a character from Infinite Crisis. Right? It was the first Crisis, right, Zach?
No, I don't think it was in a crisis. Was it?
Who's the
Not
villain?
Infinite. It wasn't Infinite Crisis.
Well, if you guys want me to show, I'll show it.
Well,
Go,
you can't
go
you
for it.
can't-
I'm not reading it.
Yeah, not after showing us the Legion.
You know, if you showed me the original Legion, I'd still wouldn't like it.
Well, it's because you're a Bendis show.
Yeah,
I don't know. Early Bendis, not this Bendis.
this is
Ah.
Parallax.
0 Hour, A Crisis in Time.
Yeah,
Oh, it's 0 Hour. That's what it was.
yeah,
Okay.
it's Parallax. All right, number 3. That was my number 4. Is Ram V's Detective Comics. Moving up on the list. It's been a while. Zach knows this. It's usually like in 5 or 6, if it's even top 5. Liking this, man. This story has been getting better and better. We're getting more action, which I like, dude. Batman pretty much just saying, "I'm Batman," and beating the shit out of people now because they always underestimate him. It has been a fun series. Of course, Ram V, stop pulling your freaking people from the other book in here.
Hey, no. That deserves to be in there because that is a good book that he's got going on with the Vigil. I will not take any Vigil slander.
I gotta say though, with Gotham going to shit, this is the smartest thing Harvey's ever done. He's like, we're just gonna stay indoors and ride this shit through. Let them fucking kill each other.
I like how his eye looks gold. Like it looks like a gold eye.
But I love it though. I love basically, yeah. Harvey's like, boys, we're done recruiting. We're locking the doors. Let all the other freaks kill themselves. Yeah. The only thing bad about this book is they keep throwing me freaking Night Terrors ads in here. And then
that was in the back of the Green Arrow too.
Yeah. Previews. Yeah. I don't care.
I'm kind of interested.
I mean, they want you to buy it. They're gonna throw out the adverts.
It's future state. It's 2 months of bullshit that no one cares about.
I don't know. I'm a little more interested in this than I was in Future State, though.
Yeah.
Future State had like 2 good stories. This one looks like it has a few more.
Maranya, don't make me pull the stream over. You're making fun of my disabilities.
Maranya's gonna start throwing apples at you now.
We have to cancel Maranya. She's making fun of somebody who's handicapped because I only have 4 senses.
Yeah, I know. The 5th one is taste. You don't have any.
No, the 5th one is sight. I'm blind.
Oh God. Why are you buying comics, man?
Because they're all in Braille. All right. So what beats that?
What beats that? I'm curious. What?
Darkwing Duck.
Venkman is 10 years old. Confirmed.
Hey, he is the terror that flaps in the night.
Yes.
I am that spot on the back, itch on the back of your back, and you can't reach with your evil finger.
Oh,
I am the bologna sandwich that your mom makes, but she forgets to cut out the crusts.
Oh.
Basically, we get the Fearsome Five are back together in this. So those who read Darkwing Duck, it's the whole group. Right here. All the villains in the show are now together again, and then we get the Justice Ducks, basically versus the Fearsome Five. So I mean, it's a fun thing, and then we guys, she's now called herself like the Quivering Quack or something like that, or something.
Gizmoduck.
Yeah, because she's a sidekick now.
Oh, is she?
Gosling,
Gosling.
He's like, no, because the whole they've been doing it for the past couple of issues, and she wants a cell phone. He's like, no, you're too young to have a cell phone. He's like, but Dad, and then I could call you if I'm in danger. It's essential. He's like, no. So at the end of this, she finally gets a cell phone. That was kind of funny. So, but overall, he said, I was talking to Aaron Sparrow about this. Aaron Sparrow, who wrote the previous installment of this of Darkwing Duck. This is aimed towards younger kids. Honestly, which I don't mind because I was like 6 years old when I watched the original series, which was aimed towards younger kids. If you're aiming it for older teens, I guess
not DuckTales.
Don't draw it cartoony.
Yeah,
it's cartoon. Just like DuckTales. DuckTales, it should never be for 17-year-olds or 18-year-olds. It should always be aimed towards younger crowds. Mm-hmm. Now, me being a kid at heart, I can read all this stuff because it just brings back childhood memories and it's fun. And when you draw the art actually looking like the characters, it was a plus too. Yeah. So.
Yep. with every page, it says, "Remember when you didn't have to pay bills?"
Right.
Remember when you didn't have internet and you could just watch Saturday morning cartoons? You couldn't just stream cartoons if you want to any day of the week. You had to record it in VSR if you had one.
And you had to be good at timing those commercials if you wanted to cut them out.
Yeah.
Why would you cut the commercials out? I love those. Like, Betty
I mean,
Spaghetti.
back when I was growing up, I didn't dig them so much. Now I'm a little more fond of them.
Betty Spaghetti, Stretch Armstrong, G.I. Joe, all those.
Furbies.
Creepy
God,
crawlers.
no, not Furbies.
Yeah, Furbies. These things freak me the hell out.
When they start talking to you in the middle of the night and they're just like, "Hello, Joe."
Oh no, it was more like, "Me want to be your friend forever."
And then the other one across the room was like, "What the heck?" Is like,
One-way ticket to the fire pile out in the yard. that's how you get there.
you burn that and it's back.
I know.
Don't you want to be my friend, Zach? Forever.
Freaking eyes glowing red.
Mhm.
Half melted face. It's like a Terminator.
Yeah, it was that and Teddy Ruxpin.
So Teddy Ruxpin was the other one. Yes.
Frightening of my just frightened me during my childhood.
So my number one book of the week, and I you can say what you want. I'm loving this.
You got the good cover too.
Yes, Batman: The Adventures Continue, Season 3, Issue 6. It's just been fun. Introduction of Ra's al Ghul in here, and with Talia as well too. And it seems like they might be going the way. For those who watched the Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker? No, it was actually Batman Beyond the series, where Talia finally shows up again. You know, and for those who don't know, in the series, it wasn't really Talia. It was her father. Took her body because what happened was that the whole entire the Lazarus pit doesn't work on him anymore. So he said stole her body. In this series, he says the same thing. He's like, he's like, I'm finally dying. The Lazarus pit does not work for me anymore. And he hasn't revealed anything diabolical, but he says, like, I have this grass or or wheat or basically grow everywhere, whether it's in hot climates, whatever. He's like, here, all I want to do is before I pass away, I want to give something to end world hunger. I'm thinking, okay, what's the other shoe gonna drop? But basically, Tim, who's at this point is actually straight in this book, which is amazing. I don't know how that happened, but he's in there in the pool and stuff. They had a resort, basically an island that Wayne Industries owns, or Enterprises. I forget what it's called. Is it Industries or Enterprises?
Wayne Enterprises.
Wayne Enterprises.
Okay.
Industries.
And I was
Wayne
gonna say,
Enterprises.
yeah. I mean, and with the whole thing with Tim too, it's like, if they're following the way of the animated series that leads eventually into Batman Beyond. I mean, by the time you get to Return of Joker, he had a wife and kid, so
yeah,
they had to go that route.
So, and he even says, Bruce is like, what are you doing here? He says, hey, you want to hit the beach? And windsurfing's awesome. He's like, you go, Tim, I'll be at the gym or somewhere, because he just hates, because right now there's been no crime in Gotham whatsoever.
Hmm.
And he's like, who are you? Tim's like, or you could work the old playboy Bruce Wayne and charm and talk one of those nice ladies who've been eyeing you all week. Just being a little dick to him. But meanwhile, we see Selena Kyle has escaped from Arkham, going through this. And like I said, and he running into Talia. It is just a fun series. And I said, I read this all in Kevin Conroy's voice for this. And then as far as
The
Rachel,
only voice.
yeah, there is. It's weird when you watch the Jensen Ackles trying to do the Batman voice. Bruce Greenwood was pretty good. Or so is Jason O'Mare. But meanwhile, Montoya, who hasn't said anything about, hey, I like girls at all in this series, which has been fun. Her and Harvey Bullock are eating he's eating a pizza, and they come across her. She's being chased by something, and at the very end, we find out it's actually the Court of Owls are after her.
Interesting.
So,
The
but it also-
animated Court of Owls.
but it sets up for Gotham City Sirens. So
Animated series Harley Quinn is the best Harley Quinn.
Exactly, and that's why I just said this is
The OG.
Batman untainted. There's no
Pure.
bat,
Pure bat.
pure bat, no bat taint.
Don't worry. A DC editor will get a hold of it at some point.
They tried to with one of the issues, I think it was last seasons or last series, last volume, with Harley Quinn saying that she had had a girlfriend back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, they
Didn't
just
take.
didn't take. They kind of went away with that. So
You know, it's possible that try as they might, they just couldn't fit any more Pride stuff into a DC book this month.
They just jammed it too full.
They might have they might have exceeded their Pride quota this year.
I mean, we even get Talia sleeping with Bruce in this, and you know, and people are wondering, is this how we're gonna get Damien?
Scandal.
You know,
Right?
for kids.
Yeah, Damien into the main universe.
How come? All right, excuse me, I have a question.
Sure.
How come Talia is hotter in a kid's DC book than any other woman is in the regular DC universe?
Because I'll just say that Paul Dini and Ty Templeton like the female form.
I said, I'm surprised you haven't unleashed a couple of.
Well, she has some nice hot tatas.
Oof. Oh, that's a necklace. That's not. No, never mind.
You still went oof though.
I did when. Yeah. Before the focus actually settled in.
Actually, if you focus on, her boobs aren't really that great. Where did she here?
Where? Oh.
Right there in the upper corner.
Okay, yeah, she definitely
Pretty.
she could definitely go to the place where Vince sends a lot of his female wrestlers.
Exactly. I mean, still different than Ivy. I mean, they kind of tame it down because it is a kid's book.
As well, they should.
Yeah.
We can't have this. We can't let young Zach be unduly impressioned.
Well, like I said, I really, really enjoyed the animated series, and Bruce Toombs not involved in it, so maybe we won't get Barbara sleeping with Bruce or Talia becoming her father, or her father becoming Talia.
Okay, so while we're in between, because I was going through some boxes down there at the warehouse today, and I'm glad I didn't sweat on this particular book, but
Yeah.
I came across unbagged. No, I'm sorry, it was bag boarded, but just in the middle of a box, Swamp Thing 37. Can anyone tell me why that was a score?
Is that where John Constantine shows up?
First John Constantine.
Oh, cool.
That's the only I can think of because John Constantine's first appearance was in Swamp Thing.
I was thinking because wasn't Blue Devil's first appearance in the Swamp Thing?
No, I think it was Blue Devil #1.
Oh well, then never mind. I was way off base then.
And I'm kind of surprised it's still worth money because the Hellblazer series pretty much is cratered. And I don't know if it's because there's been so many years since that series was around, or that John Constantine is just so useless in the DC universe now.
All right, gentlemen, who wants to go next?
Hey, Zach can go. You say you only got 3 books?
I got 3 books, 3 new ones. Yeah, it ain't very many, and then all of them RDV has talked about. We got this is Scorched. This is number 19. Yeah, this kind of turned me around. I was starting to feel a little bit of a lull with this one. I was like, maybe I'll drop it from my pull list. This one kind of picked up. I got my interest peaked a little bit again. I did like seeing some more Spawn. What they've got going on with She-Spawn, interesting. I don't hate it. Still want my Gunslinger Spawn back, though. Come on, Todd McFarlane. Give me Gunslinger back. Let's see. Number 3 is Green Arrow number 3. Aside from the Legion of Superheroes, we really didn't have a huge part to do with the story or the plot. I did enjoy... They kind of explain why the Arrow family has been separated all these years, and looks like somebody made some deal with Amanda Waller. I think it was Ollie. It looked like Malcolm Merlin when I was
They
looking
had
at the
a
panels,
giant DC logo over the face.
but I kind of like that explanation. Why Leanne and Connor and they've all been separated for so long. I thought that was cool. Peacemaker, Roy Harper, their little pissing contest was actually pretty entertaining, I gotta say. And then seeing Hal Jordan pop up at the end, I thought was as Parallax. I thought was interesting.
Hey, before you do the next one, hey Venkman,
Yes.
I couldn't quite understand, Zach. Who did Ollie make a deal with?
Oh, you mean Amanda Wawa?
Sorry, never.
You had to, I know, I understand.
She's not in charge.
Last book, number one book this week that I got, it is Detective Comics. Whatever it is, 10,000 and 1,073. 10,000. Yeah, no.
10,000 Batmans.
I like this one. This is probably one of my favorite issues yet. There was a lot of action, like RDV said. There was a lot of action in this one. I like that it was Bruce Wayne, using his head, realizing how to, how he could beat this foe that he's going after. So that was cool. The stuff I didn't mind the Vigil part because I like the Vigil series that's going on right now.
Yeah.
There's some stuff with Jim Gordon and they give him a workaround over why he's not being hypnotized like the rest of Gotham is. It's like, I've been Joker-fied and hypnotized, and it's like, I'm fine. Everybody else is in trouble, but I'm fine. I thought that was pretty.
Yeah, they brought back Barbatos.
Barbados. Barbados. Yeah,
Barbados.
Yeah, that was where the book leaves off. The Asmer that has been like transforming all these other people and like turning them into monsters and something. They finally get it to Bruce, so like they have him inhale it, and so he's trying to like stay sane and everything. And Barbados is in his mind he's like, just submit, let me like take over you. It was really, really cool. They've been teasing that since Ram V first jumped on the title, so I'm glad to see that that's finally picking up a little bit of steam. So yeah, I like Detective Comics a lot. I've been waiting for it to pay off. I like Ram V's like a little slow burn, but it's starting to really jump on it and pay off. So yeah,
which worries me because if it's starting to pick up, it means he's probably going to finish his run soon.
It's one story. He hasn't been on it that long.
The problem is that Ram V, once he does his story, he kind of like wants to move on to the next thing.
What if he could have another story lined up?
Hopefully,
maybe.
All right.
Yeah. Those are my three.
Who wants to go next?
How many books you got, Breen?
I bought 4. I haven't had a chance to read them, but there's only one that hasn't been talked about. So you can. What in the world are you doing, Zach?
You got more books than me. I'm shocked.
Oh, I thought maybe you just muted yourself. I got excited.
I didn't want to interrupt.
And yet you did.
Green, don't get excited. Your heart, remember.
Why don't you go, man?
No, I just fired up an Avatar prop. So you go ahead.
Avatar? Oh, blue.
Last
Ocean?
Airbender?
No. If it'd been, I'd already be asleep.
Oh.
It's no fun when Ash isn't around to grumble.
He's grumbling somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a bit, nothing like super, like nothing new specifically from this week. I mean, since the last time I was on, I got, finally my last box for like in-stock trades and Midtown Comics that came in. So a few comics and then a bunch of trade paperbacks. But I guess it's in no particular order, but I guess we'll start with, I got my Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles issue number 5 by Ryan Parrott and Dan Mora.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys have been reading this one at all. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's a great book. I really enjoyed it. Turtles become Power Rangers. Power Rangers become mutants. It's a good time.
They're using Dimension Z morphers, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh, the Dimension X morphers, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Dimension X has their own Power Rangers. I mean, and I was kind of hoping, the Turtles were going to get to keep them, but sadly it didn't work out.
Yeah,
that
I never
way.
read the first crossover, but that second crossover, just going into it, I really didn't need to. It's self-explanatory. And the art is awesome.
I really enjoyed the first crossover, but this second one, they really stepped it up. Just in terms of like the story itself, and also like, anytime you get Green Ranger Shredder, that's just rad.
With the Dragon Zord?
Yes. Got the Dragon Zord that combined with like
the Turtle Zord.
The Turtle Megazord. The fact that Turtles got their own Megazord, it was just cool. And again, just seeing the Power Rangers as like mutants themselves. It was there we go.
Krang has control of the actual the Power Rangers original Megazord.
Yep, he like was it basically dug underground of the command center to try to get at it, because he's like, well, I'm tired of using my giant robot, so I'm just gonna steal the Power Rangers giant robot. And that's what made it cool,
Michelangelo's
gonna have to like repair their Megazord, of course, but
their whole entire attitude I love it's the same personality as the 80s cartoon, like the one I just showed. It's the same personality there from Michelangelo, Raphael, Leonardo, and Donatello. That's why I really like the Saturday morning cartoon, and I like that one because it's the same personality. So,
absolutely. And then I've got right here, since they technically go together, so got the Flash 798.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. And the Flash 799 got those nice covers. This cover was like, I think $18.
That's one of the pricier ones, but I love it though.
Yeah, it was definitely a fantastic cover.
Is it a wrapper cover?
No, then it's not. Wait. Oh wait, that one might be. Is it? No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not. On the back is just an advertisement for the failed Flash movie.
It came and went in the Flash.
Oh yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I really enjoyed this storyline. This is the one where Granny Goodness tried to take Wally's new baby.
Yep.
And Wally just wasn't having that, so puts together a team and it's like, okay, let's go get my kid. And then what is it? The last of the singles. This one, of course, had to get the Flash 800.
Yeah,
nice.
Got the nice holofoil cover.
Nice.
Just a collection of stories, and as well as what is it? Yeah, basically, I guess a preview of Cy Spurrier's upcoming one. But probably the best story out of this entire one was the Jeff Johns backup story.
Oh, okay.
Blitzback.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like another revisit to Hunter Zolomon Zoom. And you're basically getting Zoom's like entire history within a few pages and stuff about who he was, how he became Zoom, and just sort of reinforces why he's always going to be the bad guy. Just no matter what.
Razor Ramon?
Hunter Zolomon?
Razor Ramon. I'm the
Razor
bad
Ramon.
guy.
I'm the bad
Say
guy.
Hello to the bad guy.
Oh, exactly. Because, someone's got to help make Wally West the best Flash he can be. I don't know if Cy Spurrier is going to use him at all, but...
Well, the good thing is
what's the best part about Flash 800?
What's that?
No. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna put away my filter. No stories from diversity hires. It was just 5. It wasn't bloated in price. In chock full of unnecessary stories by people who know nothing about the character they're writing.
Mm-hmm.
4 of the 5 people have written Flash before. The 5th one is going to get his crack at it. Mm-hmm. And I don't think there was a bad story in the lot. I know some people didn't like the Cy Spurrier one because we're all kind of a little butthurt that he's taken over. But I think that's for an anniversary issue, especially when you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use a big. This will take until I read comic books. Juxtapose that with Wonder Woman 800.
How fancy! Yeah, the Cy Spurrier story I'm a little indifferent to because whenever you get a new writer on a book, you got to get used to their style kind of deal. Yep. That's why whenever I start a new book with a new creative team, it's like give it at least 5 issues before I kind of make up my mind about it. It's like, okay, let's see where it goes, sort of deal. I mean, I like the art in Cy Spurrier's story. The concept was interesting with this, with what he was doing with the mirror world and stuff like that. How he was depicting, like, was it Wally and Linda's relationship? I wasn't as big a fan of, because it's all like, Linda thinks she's getting Wally to herself, but he's still going out like saving people in the blink of an eye. And then when she finds out he left the restaurant a few times, she gets a little pissy about it. And I'm just like, no, she understands he's the Flash.
She was just with him working out when he was the Flash. The whole time thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like she knows that he's got a responsibility. So
yeah.
For me, that just didn't work. And it's just like, are you trying? To me, it just kind of looked like, are you trying to set up that there's going to be a problem in their marriage? Because I swear to God, don't attack the kids, don't attack the marriage. You can do whatever else you want. Just don't do those two things. But still going to give the run itself a chance. When it comes out, was it September?
September. Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked though if DC's like, let's tear down the marriage a little bit, add a little more drama to it, like we do every other. There's no such thing as a happy marriage.
What I'm afraid.
Superheroes can't be happy.
Superman and Lois.
I'm afraid of the Bendis effect happening again.
But that's what was it? Fear. I was gonna say Bendis put Superman and Lois through the ringer a little bit,
and nobody wanted it because Cy Spurrier is taking over for a guy who got the character, understood family, how to write them. Because a lot of people writing comics today, the only relationships they've ever known have been online. So they don't know how to write real people. And I'm not saying Cy Spurrier is one of those guys, but I'm saying Jeremy Adams got it. And nobody wanted him off of the book, yet that, here we are. And I'm just afraid that he's going to do something to sabotage what made Jeremy Adams run.
Yeah, it'd be like Linda. It's like, Wally, you're always gone all the time. I get to see you, so I met someone new.
Although they did that to Kyle Rayner at the end of the Green Lantern book. He came back from space and found Jade in Kyle's bed with someone that wasn't Kyle. Oops.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was well done.
And then Jade got fridged, right?
No, but
like Kyle this time
got fridged,
Green Lantern style.
But I said so I can't find the one book I was going to show because I put it in a stack of stuff to read, and I literally don't remember where that was.
Oh, that's okay, because I wasn't done anyway.
Okay.
Now I got a whole list of trades to go through that I just got to. So, got this one, Dark Ages trade paperback. I'm sure y'all read that one.
Yeah, I read that one. Yeah, it was all right. I liked it more at the start than when it ended, but I liked the concept. I thought the concept was cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just finished it yesterday because to the time I had only read, I think it was the first 2 issues online, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get the trade when it comes out.
Is it?
I really enjoyed it.
Was that Iban Coelho?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that is correct.
His art style is good. He's on the Fantastic Four right now.
Oh yeah, the artwork in this book was really awesome. I really enjoyed it. So I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing more stories out of that universe, and it's just for me, it's just further kind of steals my perspective on Tom Taylor that he does much better with out of continuity books, than he does in continuity.
Yep.
Because read some of it, read some Nightwing, read a little bit of his Superman, Son of Kal-El, Spider-Man, and I'm like, still doesn't compare to Dark Ages and Justice Deceased.
Now his Titans, he's only written 2 issues of Titans, but the 2 issues have been good so far.
Have they? Okay, I haven't read his
Titans.
Titans number 2 was actually better than number 1, I think, in a few ways. But
okay, right on.
It's been
how is Danger Street?
That's the other Tom.
I know, it's just creepy.
I don't think that if number 7 came out, I didn't notice. I need to check on that because I honestly don't know if it did.
Because that's scary if both Toms are doing well.
Well, the first crack in the Tom King started again. It wasn't major, but and I knew it was coming. It was just didn't know when it was, and it was issue 6. But yeah, we'll see. It's not honestly important to the story. It's just that it's DC, so you can figure out what it involves.
Word up.
Yep.
Someone got turned into ice and they shattered him.
Let's see. Then I got the trade to Murder World, which I was not expecting much out of this, but ended up really enjoying it.
Oh.
So you guys read this one?
No, I haven't read that one.
Who was the writer again?
This one was where'd it go? Written by. Let me get in here. Jim Zub and Ray Fox.
Okay.
Yeah. So effectively, this book is kind of like best way to describe it. Arcade is hosting more or less an illegal competition. He's basically doing, I think, Squid Game plus The Running Man.
Okay. Yeah, Jim Zub also did some within last week, or not last week, but last year. He did some work on Vampirella too. One of the crossover things they had.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good. Like, so if you haven't read that, it's definitely a book I intend to talk about on my channel at some point.
I personally passed it up because Marvel, and I just didn't know what they're gonna do with it. And lately, when they bring back a character like Arcade, they don't know. They've never read the original Arcade, so it's like, all right, let's see who this is.
Yeah, no, with this one, I think because he's basically plays the part of a game show host to a degree, and yeah, and it works. And even though it's got like a bunch of superheroes on the cover, like the superheroes themselves aren't actually really in the book. Like he's using LMDs to stand in, and like to go around and hunt the people, and that's what definitely makes it interesting too. And like just basically over the course of the issues, you're following one character, what is it, per chapter effectively, and you're just getting their story. And like from the end of the first chapter, like was an ending to that I did not see coming, and from then on I was into it. It was a fun story.
I think there was an issue of Ghost Spider where she fell into an old arcade trap, except for Spider-Man. It was
did she?
I think it was either Ghost Spider or Spider Gwen, but I remember that like it was supposed to be for Peter, set for him, but it's like so it's focused on everything that happened in his life and all that stuff. And she's like, "I'm not Spider-Man. I don't give two shits."
Isn't Ghost Spider and Spider Gwen the same person?
It's the same character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When she finally got a name, it took a couple of years or something like that before they decided on Ghost Spider.
Now, you're talking about Arcade before. I think one of the problems with Arcade is that's one of the few characters that the Teenies and Vitas of the world have heard of. So they shoehorn him into everything. And it's almost like you get so many bad versions of him that when someone that does get the character writes him, because that's kind of what he kind of is, a twisted game show host.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, picture I'm if he predated Richard Dawson in The Running Man, but that's kind of who I think of when
Yeah, exactly.
Now maybe that was based on Arcade to a degree.
It reminds you of
but the book was probably before that, so maybe.
This also reminds me of the other Captain Marvel story from a few years back, where they're having the escape room. Wolverine was in there with the girls. They're all playing cards or something like that, poker, and they decided to go escape room together. Oh my gosh, it's Zach!
Now I'm imagining Arcade like going up to the families and like kissing each one of them as he starts talking like Richard Dawson.
Well, now if you remember the original premise of Arcade, when he did what all good supervillains do and revealed his origin to the people he was about to kill, his parents basically took away his allowance, so he killed him. So I mean, he's a piece of shit from jump.
From the jump, yeah.
Yep.
He's also battier than a nutcake. So he's, like I said, that's the way he should be written. And so
Yeah, he's evil Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the
That's
chairman
what-
of the board.
That's why I'd want to play him if I were in charge of the MCU. Carrot Top or nothing.
Exactly.
Well, but Arcade wears those 70s disco suits,
Mm-hmm.
and Carrot Top probably still has those guns, so they have to find a way to cut the sleeves out of those suits.
For me, though, I would choose Conan O'Brien. That's the heck of it.
Maybe I can see
The
that.
hair.
Conan O'Brien?
Absolutely.
Conan.
He knows about the hair. He's like, just a little.
Oh wait,
He's a
wait,
little
what-
wild. He's a little crazy.
I don't know. I mean, if I had casted him, what is that? What's that actor's name?
Seth Green.
Tyler Mahonigan played Joker in Gotham, like sort of pseudo Joker.
Oh, okay.
I think he'd make a dope Arcade.
Taylor
Yeah, I can see
Momsen.
that too.
I mean, because he probably looks a little older now.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Now, you don't want him looking too old, but you don't want him looking like a kid either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He kind of looks like a snotty, rich kid
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. He's
or a rich young adult.
he's a 30-year-old adult that never grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to describe it. Next one, I got hardback, Jurassic League.
Yeah, I saw that's in trade in my
Yes.
shop.
Daniel Warren Johnson, baby.
Daniel Warren Johnson. Yep, Daniel Warren Johnson and Juan Gideon. Yeah, this was another book that I thought was just like so much fun. This I said in an upcoming video that I'm editing right now. It's that this is one of those types of books that reminds me how fun comics can be when you just take a concept as ridiculous as this and just run with it. Just run with it, and the results is just pure fun. Like this is a B-level schlock type of story to a degree. It's popcorn entertainment, and that's why I liked it so much. And because just from everything, even the way they drew like little dinosaur Batman when his parents were killed
Yeah.
was just absolutely hilarious. I'll see if I can find the panel right quick. So all right around here. Get it up there. There you go.
Yep.
Little sad dinosaur. It just became the monster Batsaur. It was pretty, and this is one of those stories too. I was like, I'm kind of hoping they do another installment of this so they
I
can
would
kind of
love
flesh
to see-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because really only what was it, Batsaur, Supersaur, and Wonder Dawn.
That's our
got
Super. Yeah. Those are your
all
big
of
three.
Yeah, I mean the Trinity got all the character development. We still don't know much about Flash Raptor, Aquanix, and
Green
what
Torch.
is it? Green Torch.
Green Torch. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to see that universe's iteration of like Oa and Atlantis, just to see what they can come up with.
Yeah.
I think I think that'd be a rather rad story. And
I would love if I ever get to meet Daniel Warren Johnson, be like, dude, what's your plans for Volume 2? Come on, I know you got
Yeah.
something.
he cannot leave us in the dark after that. I definitely want to follow up.
And
that story.
I want to cross over between Jurassic League and they did the DC mech story last year, where all the Justice League basically had giant mechs that they had that copied their powers. I want to cross over between those.
Yeah, Joe, I don't know if you were watching this show when Jurassic League was out, but Zach,
He went hardcore for it.
he would have given that miniseries a kidney.
That was my number one. Like, whenever it could be up there, it was up there. Like,
Of course, I can understand.
Dinosaurs,
It was a dope series. I had a lot of fun with it. For
and
sure.
actually, I want to go back and reread it now because I've become a bigger Daniel Warren Johnson fan, like of his art and of his storytelling. So I want to go back and reread it now, just because I've become that big of a fan of his.
Right on. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, if you ever do meet him in person, that's definitely the question to ask. Then Jurassic League 2, we need it. And like I always kind of thought to myself too, was okay, so Jurassic League. So now it's been published. It's in the multiverse. For the love of God, will somebody write a Flash story where like Barry or Wally just runs right into that universe or Flash Raptor runs into the DC universe.
They
Or at
did.
least cross over with Captain Carrot.
They did have a page. I forget what it was. I think it was like a Flash thing where it was either Flash or maybe it was one of his kids. I don't remember. But one of them, they were going through all these different multiverses, and they did show it was like one panel of him going through the Jurassic League world. I've got to remember what the name of that issue was and what book it was. But yeah, they did have that. So
They did? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, then they need to fully cross over at some point,
Absolutely.
because that would just be awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next, well, it's the sort of prequel tie-in to a failed film we were talking about. Was The Flash Fastest Man Alive. I bought this before the film dropped.
Mhm.
I still actually haven't seen the movie because, I don't want to. Well, not to mention, plus the movie failed so bad around here. It was in cinemas barely a week and a half before they pulled it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Like, seriously, like, it dropped on a Friday. I was planning on going to see it the following week after our daughter was in school. I think I was supposed to see it. I was going to go see it, like, next Wednesday. And then when I wanted to go look at the times, like, suddenly the entire thing had been scrubbed. And there was only one showing at 11:10 p.m.
Jeez.
And
Wow.
now it's gone. So, but I will say, I actually, like, I thought the stories itself in here were pretty interesting, because you get the DC versions of, like, some villains like Top and what are they, Tar Pit and what is it, one dude, I can never remember his name off the top of my head, Girder. So, and I don't know how much it really ties into the movie. Just basically says, hey, here's how he gets the suit that he's got in the movie, more or less. It doesn't really set up him wanting to, like, run back in time or anything like that. So, I mean, it's an interesting one-off, but nothing like too memorable. Let's see, and I've got this one, Inferno Girl Red, by Matt Groom. So this was one of those, it's one of those stories in the Image Massive Verse thing that they're doing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was also like a Kickstarter book at one point because they were trying to get funding for it. And I thought it was okay. I like the art in the book. It's sort of like like a Western kind of take on Kamen Rider to a degree.
Okay.
Well, like, in terms of, like, design and stuff. So, like, yeah, the girl, she gets like a bracelet, and she just shouts, like, this phrase, like, what is it? There you go. Inferno Ignite. And then just turns into Inferno Girl Red.
I love a lot of those shows, a Kamen Rider, whether it's Power Rangers or it's even Digimon. They swipe a card.
Oh yeah, those are always entertaining.
Oh crap! I lost my card. Where did I put it?
The sillier the better. Like, I love watching, like, Super Sentai and stuff like that, and Kamen Rider and all that. Yeah, but the book is okay. I kind of had some similar issues to it that I had with what is it, The Dead Lucky, when I finally got around to reading it, and it's just kind of like I felt a little rushed. Whereas when I read, like, Rogue Sun or Radiant Black, I feel like those stories breathe a lot more. There's a few more issues sort of, like, in between to kind of fill out some gaps. Whereas with this one, there's kind of like, it's kind of like, it's sort of like, hurry up, get to the end. We got to establish the status quo, and then we're gonna start, like, the main story to a degree. Let's see. And then I haven't read this one yet. It's volume 2 to Rogue Sun. So, I mean, what is it? Jonathan Nolan says it's brash, bold, unapologetic. So I don't know what that means. But it's Ryan Parrott, and I like Ryan Parrott books. I think the dude's a really good writer, when it comes to, like, Power Rangers. And I don't know if you guys ever read Dead Day. That was a really fun book back a few years back.
Okay. No, I hadn't heard of that one.
You never heard of Dead Day?
No, I have not. I have been hearing good things about him with, like, where Power Rangers are involved.
Yeah, his Power Rangers is really good. With Dead Day, that was actually one of those surprise books that I a few years back when I was still living in Alaska when it hit. Because like the whole premise behind that was that one day a year, the dead get to return to the land of the living.
Oh,
they're-
I did hear about this.
Yeah,
one.
but
So
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But they're not like exactly zombies. I mean, they are zombies, but they have all of their memories and stuff like that.
So you could actually like talk to somebody that.
Yeah, grandma can come back and visit you, and she can bake her famous apple pie or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but that also
yeah,
means
go
that if
again.
you had killed somebody, they can
Mhm.
come after you every few years. They get a chance to take you out. Let's see. Then we've got volume 2 to Bloodstained Teeth. I really enjoyed the first volume, so as soon as the second one became available, I had to make sure to order that. So another Image book.
Yeah, the Dead Days kind of sounds like there was a show that's on Netflix. I forgot what it's called, but like all these, it was not the 4400, but it's similar to that. But
No, I think I know what you're talking about. Was it Glitch?
Glitch, yeah, they come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, and they're trying to figure out like, wait, how are we?
The one guy's already married,
alive?
you know, and like he's like, "Oh, my wife's come back." He's like, "You're dead." It's like,
It's like not anymore.
yeah,
I actually had never, believe it or not, I've never seen that show. I've seen trailers. It looked interesting, but I never got around to it.
hey, Maverick, what's up?
And then the last one I got, haven't read this one yet either, but it is volume 2 of Noctera.
Nice.
Very cool.
You know, some good old Scott Snyder and
Scott
goodness,
Snyder.
Tony S. Yeah, Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniel art. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You should read American Vampire if you like vampire stuff or just westerns, or even time periods. It goes between from the 1800s or actually from the Civil War, going all the way through.
I think it's the best thing he's ever written, personally.
Oh, which one?
Yeah.
American Vampire?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've actually got that one on deck. I just haven't gotten around to reading it. Same with Witches. I have the trade for Witches, but I haven't actually read it yet because it's like, Jesus Christ, I got so many fucking books to read. That's the hardest part when I go on summer vacation because like when I'm in school, it's really hard to find time to read comic books. And
Mm-hmm.
then as soon as I go on any kind of break, it's like, all right, it's time to sit down, start cracking these, bastards open. And it's like, holy shit, I bought 45 comic books over the last 3 months. What do I read?
Yep. Well, that's my issue with back issues. Like I try to like go through them and like read through a whole run. And it's like I don't have the time, and like it's just there's so many.
I've been powering through the Superman books. There's 3 different titles. Like I'm bouncing from title to title to title to tell the story, and then you get to the 90s. Let's add 2 more. it's like and then because there's no collected trades, really. John Byrne has his own Man of Steel collection. There's all John Byrne stuff, but like
Yeah, they got those
there's only
zombies.
one collected omnibus, and that's the Exile story with Gerard Way.
Here's-
After that, between that and the Death of Superman, it's not collected whatsoever.
Yeah, this just in. DC
Yeah.
sucks of their reprints.
Yeah, well, I think they're finally starting to get around to it, though. I mean, when they did, Flash Savage Velocity, I was really surprised. I'm like, oh, I never thought I'd see, what is it? That those Flash stories collected, like right after Crisis,
Terminal
First Crisis, Savage Velocity.
I'm pretty sure you can just about get the entire
Yeah,
Wally West
What was it?
Flash
That one?
series in.
Okay, yeah, that one, yeah. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Then
That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where Mark Wade started writing, huh?
No.
Baron.
This is Mike
Baron,
Baron
number
and
one.
William Mesner Loeb.
the one I'm
Gotcha.
talking about is the one where Jesse Quick becomes the new Flash.
That's
Terminus Velocity.
terminal
Ter-
velocity.
Oh, the Terminal Velocity. Oh, the one where she
Terminal.
like temporarily becomes.
Yeah.
Where
Like-
Wally's looking for somebody
Well, she
to
doesn't like
replace him.
officially become the Flash.
No.
Well, he's just saying, "Hey, you're gonna become the new Flash," because he's trying to poke Bart to making him
Yeah,
better.
Yeah.
Which of course, Jesse Quick was like, "You son of a bitch!" when she finds out the truth. It's like, you suck, dude. I'm like, I mean, and I'm sitting there, I'm reading. I read that Terminal Velocity story, and I'm kind of agreeing with her a little bit. I'm like, you couldn't have at least pulled her off to the side and let her know that. You
Let her
just
know on the
just
joke.
hyped her up just to knock her down, just to try to make Bart get better.
Yes, it is a movie. Yes, by Charlie Sheen, isn't it?
But it's not the Flash, so it doesn't
No.
count.
No.
Yeah, I'm out of books now.
Yeah, I was when hearing people tell me about the Let me click this. As far as when it comes to the Rogue Sun, I think it is, and then, or was it, or actually no, it wasn't Rogue Sun. It was Radiant Black.
Radiant Black, okay.
That's supposed to be like an Power, and it's not Power Rangers, but it's Power Rangers like.
Yeah, it's definitely similar to Power Rangers. I mean, because as you read it, there's obviously more than just black. There's pink, there's red, there's yellow.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and even in Volume 2, they end up in Japan for like a quick second. And one of the guys, like one of the people, saw them and was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, I wonder what Sentai group that is." You know,
Yeah.
of course, as a reference to Super Sentai, which you know, eventually, if it gets adapted, will become a Power Rangers season.
Yeah, and is Ryan Parrott dealing with it with the Radiant Black, or is he just doing what is he doing? Rogue Sun?
No, Ryan Parrott's doing Rogue Sun. What is it? Radiant Black is Kyle Higgins, who actually kickstarted the Power Rangers comics over at Boom Studios. So he was the first one doing the Power Ranger stuff. And then Ryan Parrott replaced him, and then Ryan. I think now, what is it? I just started reading Mighty Morphin Volume 6. And Ryan Parrott's not the writer on that anymore, so he just got replaced. And I think on the newer one, like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Recharged, is also a different. It's also a different writer. So
yeah, I just read the Last Barbarians by Kyle Higgins. Just did that over an Image. That was another like an RPG to brother and a sister.
Yeah, the only other Kyle Higgins book I've been reading was the Marvel Ultraman book that he's been doing. So I don't know if you guys like Ultraman, but
I didn't know it's done by Marvel.
Huh?
Marvel just did Ultraman. They might still be doing Ultraman, actually. I thought it was a miniseries.
What is it? Yeah, because he's kind of like, because Kyle Higgins, he's doing the Ultraman books, but he's doing them in like increments. Like, what is it? So he did like a 4-issue miniseries called The Rise of Ultraman. Then like a few months passed, and he did another 4 issues called Trial of Ultraman. And then he just did 4 more issues. What is it called? Mystery of Ultra 7. Which that one hasn't been collected in trade yet. I think that trade comes out in December.
Okay.
So he's doing it, but he's doing it in like little spurts kind of thing.
Nice. All right. I don't have anything else to show up, and Green can't find his books.
Well, I was just going to say though, I don't think anybody mentioned Elvira in Monsterland.
Yeah, that came out this week.
Yeah, but neither one of you two got it, right?
No.
I'm actually surprised that you're not getting that, Vic. It's very entertaining. She keeps getting trapped in horror movies and TV shows. She ends up on the Night Stalker, and with Kolchak in the first issue, and it's not a new idea, but it's fun.
It'll be something I'll probably pick up in trade format because I keep forgetting it's
only on issue 2, and
yeah.
I think the bloom's pretty much off of Elvira at this point, so I'm sure number 1's still languishing on the shelves.
Her other Elvira series she had, I didn't really care for that.
I didn't care for it in the past. So this was one of those that I was already buying a bunch of stuff that day, and you know how it is when you get rolling.
Yeah, you're like,
I'll take that too. And I read it, and I go, I like this. I'll keep going.
Nice. Yeah. Elvira never really was I wasn't really a big fan of Elvira. I mean, sure, was she good looking in the movie?
It depends on the story, because she's kind of like the Man Thing with boobs. She's just kind of there, and the story happens around her. When it's done.
Wait, it's like E's Man Thing on the auction. It just sits there and everybody else sells.
Well, other than when bad guys touch him, and whoever knows fear burns the touch of the Man Thing. Mm-hmm. The best Man Thing stories, he just kind of like shambles in, things happen around him, and he shambles off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was kind of the original concept for Gerber, and occasionally he would burn a bad guy. But Steve Gerber was on copious amounts of drugs. That's how you get Man Thing and Howard the Duck.
At one point, Steve Gerber thought he invented Gerber Foods.
He may have. No, I mean, in his mind, he may have gone back in time.
It's
and
possible,
invented
right?
Gerber Foods.
Imagine being so coked out you create baby food by accident.
Split pea. Mash.
I started a multi-million-dollar company, just completely strung out.
Yeah, I mean, I said it. Now, obviously, Gerber was by no means the only, drug-fueled Marvel creator in the 70s.
Right.
But I look at the
I'm
70s.
pretty sure most everybody was drugged out in the 70s.
And I look at the creators today, and I'm thinking, some drugs probably wouldn't hurt this bunch.
That's the missing ingredient.
Well, no,
Yeah.
talent is, but
Whoa, yeah.
Well, hey, I mean, what is it? Copious amounts of drugs can sometimes make up for talent.
It's true.
I mean, heck, what was it? Even though Stephen King's a great writer, some of his best works, he came out when he was yep, just blacked out one day and wrote Cujo when he woke up.
I guess. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I hope they weren't doing the hardcore drugs because that's track marks and all that stuff.
I mean, it was the 70s, so they probably weren't the light stuff.
It was 70s. It was probably just marijuana and then mixing with alcohol and stuff.
it couldn't have been cocaine.
Well, I mean, it could be marijuana mixed with shrooms too.
It couldn't have been
Shrooms,
cocaine
yeah.
because the
That was
NBA
a big
players
one.
were using all of that.
Yeah.
There wasn't any left between the movie stars and the NBA. There was no coke left for comic creators.
No. Just trying to think of. I guess you're talking about the artists for Silver Surfer. What books are you talking about? Do you think they were drugs?
No. I mean, Len Wein, Englehart, probably Conway. I mean, I'm sure all these guys probably did their share. I mean, that's
They partaked in the dirty.
it's quite possible. Yeah, Gerber for sure. The rest of them,
Maybe not.
No wonder they didn't like Jim Shooter.
But they
No more
did.
drugs.
Well, Englehart was gone before Shooter got there, so that's the first time.
He was gone twice, physically and mentally.
No, he went to DC, but had already signed a deal to go to Europe to write novels. I don't know why you had to go over there to do that, but so he was only able to, because they hired him to do Justice League, and he said, "I will do this if you let me write Batman too."
Mm-hmm.
And since Detective Comics was about to be canceled, they said, "Fuck, what we got to lose?" And he gave us arguably the greatest Batman story ever. And Detective Comics still was going to be canceled.
Nice.
But somebody said, your DC stands for Detective Comics. It's probably not a good look if we cancel a book called Detective Comics at DC.
Good point.
So that's when it became
That's
Detective
fair.
Comics, starring the Batman family, which was outselling Detective.
Yeah, DC stands for Dick Cavett. That's what it stands for.
Kevin, you twin.
You've heard it both ways.
We only need to hear it one way.
Yes, that's
Cavett.
like. Yeah. Oh,
RDV. It's like Marlon Brando and Krypton. If Vegman pronounces it,
Krypton.
that's how it's pronounced.
it's Krypton and Privacy. Get it right.
I'll let Dick Cavett know.
I'm sure when you go towards the light, you'll let him know.
He's still alive.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
Killing people off prematurely.
Yeah, he still looks like a boy. He's probably 80 something by now.
When I was a boy, oh crap, I still am.
Yeah, look up his Robert Mitchum interview. He was a great interviewer. I mean, very entertaining. You'd never know it by his unassuming as he comes across just like in conversation. But he was a damn good interview. He had, and this really wasn't fair, but he had Raquel Welch and Janis Joplin on the same show.
Holy crap, he's 86 years old.
Now, it's hard to convince people that they were of the same species because Janis Joplin made Steve Gerber look like a teetotaler. And it showed. I mean, she was the oldest looking 27 I've ever seen. And she died like less than a month after her appearance on Cavett.
Mm-hmm.
But Raquel Welch, as I said, sitting next to it's just like, yeah.
He's been married to Martha Rogers since 2010. Probably she's a PhD. Must be his doctor.
Maybe she's got the Fountain of Youth somewhere.
Wow. Broadcast, yeah, he's on for 5 decades.
Yeah.
6 seasons of
I said
Dallas.
one of the probably 5 best interviewers in television history. I would say
Right
his talk show is very very
yeah.
informal, and
When you have people like Groucho Marx coming on and roasting you, you know. Yeah,
oh, there was no big name he didn't interview at least once. I mean, anybody old enough to remember Myrna Loy?
Oh yeah,
Who?
the Thin
Myrna
Man.
Loy she and
movies.
William Powell,
Mm-hmm.
did 6 Thin Man movies together and 3 other ones. No, I'm sorry, 5 other ones. And John Dillinger was so taken with her that the way they lured him to his death was she was in a movie called Manhattan Melodrama, and they announced that it was going to be playing at this theater. He shows up, the feds get out and pump him full of lead.
Dang.
And
Jesus.
I'll tell you what, right around the time Thin Man came out, and like a couple years prior,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't come any prettier than Myrna Loy.
She was a dish.
Yeah, and she had it, whatever it is, because those Thin Man movies are great.
Her line delivery and all the.
I have
William
never
Powell,
even
too.
heard of those movies.
It is.
Look
It's
'em up.
a six movie series. They're these old black and white movies, but they are really they're
Thin
really
Man-
entertaining.
Did that have a remake?
No, I don't. Think
God,
so.
I hope not.
Yeah,
I'm sure the concept.
I don't know. There was
Or
Slender
am I thinking-
Man.
I'm thinking of Thinner, probably.
but
No, the Thinner Man.
no, these
Slender Man, there was
these are
Stephen
these are
King's The Thinner.
comedies.
Yeah, these are
Okay.
more comedy.
Although
Yeah,
Is it
I'm
comedy?
thinking-
Thin Man's a comedy. Okay.
The killer in the second one is James Stewart.
Yes, he is. Which threw me for a loop because every James Stewart movie I'd seen at that point, he's the good guy, and so when they reveal that he's the murderer, I was, oh no, he's the bad guy. In this.
Do you want the moon, Alice?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I think those will be on Disney Plus.
No, there was 1 or 2 of them were on HBO Max a while ago.
Oh my!
They'd be on Max if they were on anything.
Oh
bet-
yeah, I don't
I'll
have
bet you could
HBO
pro-
Max.
I'll bet you could probably find them free with ads on YouTube.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
If they're,
oh,
if
yeah.
they're that old, there's no colors though.
Yeah, they're really, really good. though.
Well, he would have evil, but he didn't know at the time.
Yes, yeah, you're right. Thinner is also a comedy. The guy gets cursed out, gets getting thinner and thinner. But it has Carrie Ware in it though. It's a gypsy.
Oh,
Yes.
the B movie babes did not come much finer than Kari War.
Oh my gosh, I was watching Drew Carey's show, and this is one of the seasons where he was dating Jenny McCarthy. Drew was, and the guys, both Oswald and Lewis, both see something, and their crotches go basically explode. Poof, smoke comes out, and then he's like, he's just no one's paying attention. Whatever, everybody's laughing though. It's like, and then she's like, "Oh, someone's at the door." So they're watching her walk away because that's why they're conscious, because they saw her because she's like really good looking back in the day, and she has the door. It's like, "Oh, pizza here," and you see Drew Carey's poof like in the garage.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Pizza's
that was
here.
the scare where they were supposed to be like kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She has a popsicle and she's in there licking.
Yeah,
She's like, you know what this reminds me of? Yep, I just love one of these in my mouth on a hot summer day.
That was actually a pretty good show.
I dug it. I watched that show every
absurd in
Friday.
places, but when Craig Ferguson joined as Mr. Wick,
Hmm.
because I loved him. And now Mimi became too much of a caricature. But when it was just basically everybody else, I thought it was a really funny show.
I still liked it. I think it was Lewis.
Yeah.
It was a tall one. He's a Ryan Stiles.
Yeah.
He's a janitor at a nuclear or testing place. He turned the lights off. He's glowing.
Oh yeah, Project Vulcan. I think is what it was called.
That show, man. It's just funny how much like Drew Carey has become like the opposite of his character.
Well,
It's like El Roker. As soon as you lose weight, you become a dick.
Well,
Yeah, well, he's got to keep his job on The Price is Right.
I don't think he's a dick, but I do know that he wanted the late night gig really, really bad, and Ferguson got it. And I guess it's sort of like a compromise. They, tossed him over to Price is Right, and obviously that worked because he's still there.
Yeah, he makes a good game show host.
Yeah.
Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Ferguson was the last good late night host, in my opinion.
I like the Whose Line Is It Anyway? Most of that. I still see them do some of the new ones, and they're all on there. Wayne Brady's on there, Ryan Stiles, and some of the other guys. And it's like things you can say about this, but you can't say about your girlfriend.
It's like you can say to your dog, but not to your girlfriend.
Yeah, things you can say about college, but you can't be always like once. Well, we had a good try. We're time to change.
No, one I remember back from the Drew Carey days of Whose Line Is It Anyway, which was things you could say to your dog and your girlfriend, and it was Ryan Stiles. Come.
That was the second one that I thought of. There was the other one, I forget his name, but he was like, "Get off the mailman! Get off the
mailman!" Joe Wallace sees Mimi. Oh God, I thought I was the only one who sees her. I remember she was hung up on what was it? Eddie Money. She had a thing for Eddie Money. It was Mimi's crush. I was like, the time I'm watching is the 90s. I'm like, who the hell's Eddie Money? Because I really hadn't listened to music less. And now it's like, now it's like, well, like, I can see why she thought he was, attracted to him, because he had some really good songs, But
my friend opened for him at a Taste of Blue Ash. He's a friend. He's actually like a 7-figure lawyer by day, and still has time being a band. And the whole time Eddie Money was hitting on his wife, just drunk as hell.
He had a alcohol addiction and he actually did beat it, only to die of cancer. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? It was.
Eddie Money gets, if you're of a certain age like mine, Eddie Money was a big deal when I was young. And then for a lot of years he was kind of associated, and the name kind of evoked mocking, but he had enough good songs to fill a greatest hits. I don't know if his catalog stuff is anything, but I don't know if there's more to him than the.
Yeah,
I like it. I
didn't even know he was an actual singer when I was watching the Drew Carey show.
Well, but I bet you've heard 2 Tickets to Paradise.
Yeah, honestly, Shaken is the other one I really like.
You watch how actually.
Watch Shaken.
Are you 12?
I've got.
I mean, I might be. I don't know.
Don't you grab your bags for leave tonight?
I guess that's. I mean, I shouldn't be too surprised. I said that you didn't know the Thin Man movies, but I thought that everybody at least had to suffer through 2 Tickets to Paradise at some point in their life.
Yeah,
I mean, if I did, I don't remember it. So.
But
I mean, I don't listen to. Well,
you're lucky.
Yeah, I didn't listen a lot to radio stations and stuff when I was a kid. So
I had parents that listened to oldies all the time. And
I was just out getting into shenanigans.
Like I said, I just thought there's certain things I thought that everybody had at least heard once, because that song is 40-something years old now, and it still pops up in everywhere.
What was he, like 32, 33 in the mid 80s? He was in his 30s singing those songs.
I think he might have been a little older than that. I think he was in his 70s when he died.
Yeah, because I said that music video for Shaken, which was like the late 80s. It's like, I love his stage performance in that. He's like, he was shaking.
Give me some water.
Yeah.
I mean, I said he had some definite radio hits.
Yeah. It is possible that everyone here except Eric is.
How's it going, little Rhaegar? It's just not the same effect when I do it.
How's it going, little Rhaegar?
Oh, you gotta go off camera. How's it going, little Rhaegar? Like that.
I'm going to get Rhaegar right now. How's it going, little Rhaegar?
I'm not going to say what that looked like.
I was leaning over. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
You had to lean over my way, huh?
14 hours to get there. No, it's more creepy when Batman does it. Just the fact I know where he lives too. I mean,
Well, everything's more creepy when Venkman does it, to be fair.
It's true.
Yeah.
well, who cares? Anyway, though, yeah. So I started watching Craig Ferguson on YouTube clips and stuff, and when he has Dana on there, or what's her name? Assistant, lovely assistant, Kelly something.
I forgot her.
Yeah, Kelly.
Yeah, I forgot all about her. Because I remember the Jeffrey the gay skeleton.
Yep.
And the horse.
And then the CBS executive, or for keep me in line, as Kelly, or his assistant.
I forgot all about her.
And I love it. He's like, he's just saying things, and she's like, "Hey, you can't see anything." He's like, "What? I didn't say anything." He's like,
he'd be, he would be canceled, uncanceled, and canceled again in the same hour now.
him. I love it. At the end, he's like, "What do you want to do? Awkward pause." He talks speak then, and
play kazoo.
Yeah. The one Irish act or Scottish actress, she's actually is like, "Oh, I'm Scottish too." It's like, and they actually know where I forgot what her name was, but they're just having a good time, and he's like, it's like, I'm not. Yes, well, I gotta calm down. I got old britches over there, he's gonna get upset, But he's like, "What do you want to do?" And she's like, awkward pause, and I love it. It's like they're just like.
I said he was the last good one. Now I don't know if maybe he got out. Well, Seth Meyers. The problem with Seth Meyers is
Seth Meyers.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, two of his two hobbies are baseball and comics.
Yeah.
So I really like him until he starts talking politics, which unfortunately is the first half of all of his shows.
Yeah.
Because he is a good little soldier. I don't care if he did the same thing for Republicans. He is so smarmy. I would probably become a Democrat if I had to listen to him talk about Republicans like that.
I'm just saying is when it comes to Ferguson was so freaking dirty on that show.
Well,
I couldn't believe that CBS let him go with it. I'm like,
it was late.
It was the late show, wasn't it?
The only reason why it wasn't the latest.
Plus,
show
if you have an accent, you can get away with anything.
That's true too. Yeah, the heavy accent.
I was also trying to think of if this would have been post 2016, anybody trying to do that, he would have been canceled. Me too, or else up.
Well, that's probably true, and I don't know if he left because they asked him. Because you remember David Letterman became an absolute shill for the Democrat Party.
Yes,
where he used to be very acerbic and very willing to hit both sides. All of that changed when he made fun of Sarah Palin's special needs kid, and the way he did it was disgusting. Yeah. So I think he went out.
I've never seen that.
You don't want to, because I said if you're a Letterman fan, it'd be hard to like him after that. And I don't care, what side of the spectrum you're on. It was an incredibly poor taste. And I don't know if he had anything to do with Ferguson getting, because he was definitely eased out. He didn't leave on his own.
No.
And when you look at what they replaced him with, again, another foreigner, but willing to, go along, toe the entire Democrat Party line.
Yep.
100%. And I don't know who told him he was entertaining, but they lied to him.
Yeah, Letterman, you see him after when he was on Norm Macdonald's show, and he has the huge beard and all that stuff. He looked like he's been a hermit. He's like, just let it go, because he no longer has it. Like you, do you even have a job anymore, or are you just blackballed?
You know what his job is? Counting the zeros in his bank account. That's a full-time job. I mean, being David Letterman has paid very lucratively through the years.
You think these
Yeah.
guys will just blow right through their money and they're in financial problems?
No, because he's a freaking hermit. I mean, that is who he is. He's like, he lives somewhere up in like Montana or something. Do you know where he started? He was on the Mary
Montana?
Tyler Moore variety show that came on. It was on for like 1 year
Wow.
after her sitcom ended. Because he's from Indiana. I think he went to Ball State, and I don't know how he ended up on her show, but and I said, and in the '80s he was. I thought he was great because it really felt like, he was doing it from his basement. Because I think they gave him like a closet in the Ed Sullivan Theater to do his show, and or actually no, he didn't get that, so he went to CBS. But I mean, it looked like it was almost like remote control. Remember? Anybody remember that show?
So wow.
Yeah, I said I'd forgotten until it popped up on a YouTube feed. Now I can't get the theme out of my head. I realized that guy's been dead for 15 years.
I had what stuck in my head was I don't think it was a show, but I think it was a movie with the dad from Growing Pains. He had a robot son.
Alan Thicke
in the movie. He had a robot that he treated as a son. He had another son too, and forget what it's called, but it was like I was watching it. This happened to be on TV, and I was just watching. I was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" It's first I know it's Alan Thicke. Is like he's been dead for how long now? He's been dead for a while.
Yeah, he's been probably about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. And then I was Not Quite Human.
Not quite human.
Was that a movie, Justin, or was that a TV series?
Or a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I just saw that. It just really threw me for a loop because I haven't seen a lot of these older movies. When me and Rob are looking for movies to review, and it's like, all right, what's this? And like Dead Heat, never saw that before, and he was making it sound like it's not that great a movie. Pixel and I loved every single minute of it. It was just hilarious.
You need to review. My latest rabbit hole I told you about a couple weeks ago is that Creature Features show.
Yeah.
And they show a lot of made-for-TV movies from the early 70s. I mean, I watched, even though I've seen The Night Stalker 50 times, I watched it on Creature Features. And then I watched something called Something Evil, which was one of the first 2 or 3 things that Spielberg directed, made-for-TV movie. And then I watched Horror at 37,000 Feet. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's Buddy Epson about a year after Beverly Hillbillies, William Shatner a few years after Star Trek. He's a defrocked priest and just a bitter drunk. And Chuck Connors is the pilot. The professor from Gilligan's Island is the navigator.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he
all-star cast.
He doesn't make it. Oh, it was the ABC Repertory Company. But because a lot of these, you notice that a lot of these guys showed up in all these ABC movies because Something Evil, Darren McGavin was the star of.
Oh, nice.
And God, his wife.
I'm just hearing names.
Sandy
Kolchak.
Dennis was his wife.
Yeah. Darren McGavin is Kolchak the Night Stalker. He's the main guy in there. He's the reporter.
Okay, all right. Okay, no. Grandpa from A Christmas Story.
I thought he was the dad.
The dad. I'm sorry, the dad in Christmas Story.
Yeah, you should try out,
Joe.
Yeah.
What's that?
Have you seen A Christmas Story?
Long time ago.
Well, he's the dad.
Okay.
But yeah, he was also in his younger days. He was Mike Hammer for a couple seasons.
Mm-hmm.
50s.
But and then so he was a Night Stalker. He was in that movie and something called Say Goodbye, Maggie Cole with Susan Hayward right before she died, because she was in that John Wayne movie that cancer killed everybody in it. But yes, and I said the show's a blast. I said, I love watching stuff, because like I said that Tangela character. First time I saw her, I go, man, she looks like
Avril
Lavigne with a mop on her head. and they're reading, viewer letters, and they said, and the writer said, and Tangela looks like a poor woman's Avril Lavigne with something. It's like, so it wasn't just us.
Yeah, Vincent, yeah, it's the guy. Yeah,
Vincent Van Dahl, and Livingston is the best.
Livingston's hilarious. I'm
Yeah.
I wonder how old he is. He looks pretty old, but
Probably-
he's
probably
kind of
60.
he's kind of like Lurch in a sense, a little bit.
You ever watched that, Zach?
Nah.
It's,
I'm kinda
it's
like
very entertaining if you like stuff like Svengoolie, and I mean it's basically in that vein.
Okay.
And it's if you just Google or if you just type in creature features on YouTube, it'll
Okay.
come up. They're apparently I don't know if they're on any if they're syndicated on any television networks. I don't have access to it. But they do a show a week.
I remember there was one where Tangela was making a sandwich for Vincent, avocado spread, and you reveal it's like not even that; it's like a chemical she was putting on his bread.
They had this woman named Carrie Byron, who's on MythBusters,
Oh yeah, I remember her.
and I didn't know her from the hole in the wall. But the next day,
Shut up, Pinkman.
I see a Tide commercial with her in it. It's Tide crossing over with MythBusters.
Yep. Yeah, they got her and one of the other guys from the build team. Yeah, because
So So I when you guys brought it up, I think it was at the auction or whatever. First time you guys brought it up recently last week. I started subscribe to Creature Features, and it is a fun thing. Quickly though, Zach, do you even know who Svengoolie is?
No.
I didn't think so. Usually he'd be on
Elvira.
TV.
You I was mentioning
I
Elvira.
know who Elvira is.
Okay, well,
yeah.
like I said, she
Svengoolie, same
was a
thing.
horror host.
Yeah.
Okay.
Svengoolie is a horror host. He's actually still on.
What channel is he on now?
Saturday nights at 8:00 on.
Is he kind of like a Boris Karloff figure?
No, he's got the light face paint and he's got the thing.
It kind of looks like a poor man's Cool Ghoul, but I think he was regional to where I live. But
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what channel was he on for me. I used to watch him. I think it was Me TV.
yeah,
Wow.
that's it. It's
That sounds like
whatever your equivalent of that, if it's Me TV or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
TV.
Yeah, so I remember.
Yeah, it's on
So-
Saturday nights at 8.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But,
I used
So
to watch
Creature
it.
Features is like that, but I think it's, honestly, I think it's way better.
Yeah, I remember when Lynn Cara was trying to do that in his basement, like she'd Svengoolie a little bit for some of his videos. I was thinking, like, really, bro? Okay.
Link
Anyway.
did that?
Lynn Cara, he had his basement, he had the coffin, and he had all that stuff, the casket, and like,
Huh.
and
I think
but
with Linkara, I only ever watched his History of Power Rangers videos.
Yeah, but if you look
Yeah.
at what it says, like written by Vincent Van Dahl, and this is produced by Jeffrey Bodine,
Mhm.
that's him. That's Vincent Van Dahl without the 80s, metal wig and makeup.
yeah, I was wondering, like, I'm watching, it's like, he's got I'm like, oh, he is British or something like that. Yeah, I was like, he looked, because at first I'm like, okay, what is he trying to go for? He's going to go for that. What was that? Bill Paxton when he was a vampire. I forget what Nightbreed. Nightbreed, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's called. Yeah, fun movie. Zach, you need
Yeah, I
to
love
watch
that movie. It's a good movie.
I am currently watching, so I am binging through Witcher season 3 came out on Thursday, so I'm going through that. And then I found out
I gave up on that show.
I'm not minding season 3 so far. It's the last one as far as I'm concerned.
Was
so.
Cavill even in this one?
Yeah, this is Cavill's last
It's
one.
his last one before Liam
Oh, this
is
Hemsworth
his
takes
last
over.
season.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't
But
realize.
then,
I thought he was
on
done.
top of that, I don't know if y'all have seen the show Warrior. It's based off of Bruce Lee's writing. It's a martial arts
Rob was talking
show
about that. Yeah,
in like San Francisco during like the 1800s.
So there's a
Is that
show
on
where somebody
Netflix?
they made a show about somebody that worries.
Warrior.
Oh,
Wait, was that on
Warrior.
Netflix too, or
No, it's on HBO Max. It was a Showtime show, and it had
Oh.
2 seasons, and then it got canceled on Showtime.
I'm out. I don't have HBO.
HBO they bought it though, and so they brought it back for season 3. And so I started watching that one. That one's a lot of fun.
there is one thing you should be watching. That's Superman and Lois. I noticed you got the Superman T-shirt on, Joe.
Oh no, I actually
Yeah,
what is
Superman
it?
and Lois, yeah.
I just right before I hopped on the stream, I finished watching. Was it last week's episode? And I still got one more to watch. The second
need
the
the
finale.
Season
I need to get back
finale.
into
Do
it.
not stay away from all spoilers. It is awesome.
Yeah, I
I need
heard
to
it
get
was
back
dope.
into
Like
it.
so far, I'm liking was it Home Slice's Lex Luthor. I mean, they maybe
Mhm.
went a little heavy on the rock music in the episode I just watched, but
I'm not a fan of him looking like a biker.
I don't know.
Beard.
It's interesting. It's an interesting take. Like he's definitely got that. He's definitely got like a very like commanding type of voice, and the way he takes over the prison is. I'm just like, all right, yeah. I mean, that's a Lex Luthor thing to do.
That's the guy
Yeah.
that plays Abraham in Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that though. Yeah, I could see that working for him.
I've seen him clean shaven before. I've just never seen him clean shaven and bald. So I'm like, shave that off. I want to see.
Yeah, like right now he's still got the beard, but he's got the shaved head.
I think tonight. I think that animated Superman series is supposed to come out tonight too.
Oh, the My Pal Jimmy Olsen,
The My Pal or My Friend
or
Superman.
My
Yeah,
Friend
that's
Superman
whatever.
show.
Yeah, the ones at Nickelodeon.
Oh, is it the
Uh,
cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah.
Did
cartoon.
you see somebody on Twitter all bent out of shape because they say that they whitewashed Jimmy?
Wait. What?
That's where we are in 2023, kids.
Because the
Wait.
only Jimmy Olsen they've ever been exposed
Yep.
to was on Supergirl.
Oh, and I think I think there was a cartoon where they made him black in that
Wait,
too.
is
but-
Jimmy
Yes.
White in the show?
I thought.
Yeah.
he
Or
was.
no, I'm sorry. Someone did a picture. Someone redid it and said fixed it for you, and that got that
Oh,
person.
okay, one of those,
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I
Got
was gonna
it,
say
yeah.
I thought the new show.
Yeah,
was
because
like
I said you get it because in their mind there's never
Yeah.
been a white Jimmy Olsen because that's
Yeah.
that would necessitate.
I know. I
reading a
saw
comic book.
somebody complaining that Lois's haircut was too short. I was
Oh,
like,
and
really?
the person said, and you gave Lois long hair and put her in a skirt. It gave me a jump scare,
Oh my
and I'm
god.
thinking,
Give it
So,
a what?
This,
God,
is, this is the new one right here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's the
new
show
one.
I heard was
And Jimmy
coming out.
Jimmy Olsen's
Yeah.
black.
why? Yeah, I corrected myself. Why is Lois Lane a 14-year-old boy?
I think it's just the anime style.
Because
that
that's
makes
what
her-
Clark likes, okay?
I mean, well, I'm sorry. No, why is Lois Lane a 7-year-old boy? Because she would come up to his thigh.
I don't. Well, I mean, what was it? You go back to the original. Was it Richard Donner movie, like the extended cut? You know, Clark's 18, Lois is like 6 on a train.
Did you, hey, Joe, did you know that Clark Kent is Superman?
Is he?
Yeah, Bendis told me so.
Hey, fucking holy shit, dude! I tell you, if there was one year where I just hated reading anything
know.
with Superman in it, like,
would happen if
yeah,
Joe-
no, Zach, like, every single review I ever did, whether it was Justice League or whatever, if there was Superman in there, like, they, for some reason, I don't know what the fuck it was, but DC made sure to let you know
Clark Kent
Superman exposes identity every fucking
That's why-
issue.
That's
I
why I
see
said
the-
that.
I
That's
see
what
the
Hey,
big
you
red-
upside
I
the
see the
head
big
with it.
S, but he's wearing glasses. I'm confused.
Yep.
What would happen if Joe took off his glasses? We looked. Would
He might be bald. He might be Lex Luthor in there.
it's Barry the Platypus?
No, I'm basically Daredevil because I'm blind as shit.
He looked like, actually looked more like Gene Hackman.
Oh yeah, I promise you, you're not as blind as I am. How without corrective lenses, how far can you? I mean, is it in inches or feet or
Well, that's how I am. Like I can.
I
guys
mean,
are all
what is it?
fuzzy.
If I take my, like, right now, everything's like blurry. I can't read the chats
Okay,
or
so
anything.
you can't do anything without your glasses, then, right? I mean, you're pretty
Pretty
much.
like, yeah, I can't read
Same
without
here.
them. I can't drive without them. I mean, it's not a strong prescription, but it's just strong enough.
I mean, I put
to-
my contacts in before I shower, so I don't bump into things. That's how bad
Yeah.
my eyes are.
Well, I'm trying to get clear for LASIK.
Hmm.
I want to get LASIK done because I hate wearing glasses.
Is that like inkjet, like LASIK?
huh? LASIK. Yeah.
For
Ella-
prayers?
LASIK.
Yeah.
LASIK
I had
surgery.
a lady I worked
Just
with. She
fucking
got it done.
cuts open your cornea and shit. Just
Yeah, and they do them one at a time, right? Because they're
No,
like
they'll do it-
one.
Well, no, they have to do it. They have to do
don't
one.
they do it all at once if you pay for it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I thought maybe they did one, and then you had to make sure that worked on
No, because what they do is because I actually watched my friend go through it back in Alaska. So like what they did was he went in for like a consultation, and then they did sort of like a little experiment to see if the surgery would take first, kind of deal. I don't know what kind of tests they run to make that happen, but first that you gotta get clear for it. And then, after he got cleared, he just went in, paid his money, scheduled his day, and they're like, all right, cool. Then I sat there, I got to watch the whole surgery too. It's freaking crazy. Like this basically just cut the sclera part of the eye and just like flipped it over and just started like scraping out all the cataracts and shit, just sucking it out.
Oh, is that laser?
There's two kinds. There's LASIK surgery and there's PRK. The one they did wasn't the laser. I think they cut with a laser. I can't remember exactly. It's not like a scalpel or anything, but yeah, but still it is about kind of just like flipping the top of the eye open so they can jam something down in there and kind of just like, correct it and clean it up.
So Rhaegar, if you've been wearing your contact lenses since 7th grade, it's time to get new ones.
I'm sure the prescription has changed, maybe.
Wow, that's I'd like to get that, but I'd be afraid I'd be the one they'd screw up.
Well, that's why you sign like what is it? You can take out like a little insurance thing from the company in case they screw up.
Insurance doesn't bring back your eyesight though.
Doesn't bring back your eyesight.
And that's why
put some change in your pocket.
I would only do one eye at a time. I want to make damn sure that I at least can semi-see out of one. In case
I mean, shit, you're paying $2,000 an eye, so
yeah.
Breen, I don't see how this is funny. I don't see it all.
Yeah, because I tell you, I being deaf would suck, but being blind, you could just shoot me right there.
You can't even watch sports.
You can listen to it though.
No, you don't have to listen to sports. I'd rather just have it if I'm turned up and watch.
I mean, either would suck. I wouldn't want either. So
yeah, I mean, but at least if I were deaf, I could still watch sports. I could still read.
Yeah, until you get so old, your eyesight blows out on its own naturally.
They say when you watch a movie or you watch something on screen, like your eyes, like your vision is like 2/3 of the experience, and your hearing is the last one. So you get more out of watching than hearing.
I mean, it depends. Like I've heard, especially like when you're watching horror movies, the quote of you don't want to make a person cover their eyes, you want to make them cover their ears. That's effective horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Rhaegar. That I would rather be blind than watch that.
Could listen to the WNBA.
Oh, there was one. I think it was. I had been in WA. I was watching the one. She's talking about some gay bar that she goes to. Yeah, it was her last game, and she's like, I'm gonna go to the Rose Inn, or I'm thinking like, what is this? I look it up, the Rose Club, and I'm like, oh, it's a lesbian bar.
Did you see the Babylon Bee tweet? Brave WNBA player comes out as straight. Yeah, that's only the second best one I've said is when Chinese man retires to spend less time with family. That one maybe
it would actually be more funny.
Babylon Bee, the New Age Onion.
It would have been more funny if they had a WNBA player admits that he's been lying this whole time. He actually was born a man and is a man.
Well, you know what I want to see in this? This would be just an FU to Megan Rapinoe. I'd like to see about 200 dudes say they're chicks and just take the WNBA, including her wife's job. Because I promise you, 200 failed basketball players would be better than anybody in the league.
Is she the one that's been doing the soccer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's become an outspoken advocate for biological men playing women's sports. And she's getting the Profile and Courage Award from ESPN.
She's about as irrelevant as Liza Blue.
Yeah, because she fought for equal pay. So now the men have to give half their money to them. Yeah, well, what are you going to do?
You only get paid by the number of tickets you sell. Well, there's no one in the crowd.
Yeah, and everybody assumes that women's soccer it's more popular than men's soccer here, but it's not. But the women and men's team from the United States, men are more popular everywhere else.
Do you know what's more popular that women excel in? It is volleyball.
Well, no,
softball down here. I actually like softball.
No, I said
it's more fun to watch
women's
baseball.
tennis when Serena Williams was dominating,
Yeah.
she was getting the same kind of ratings that men were. I mean, because she was legitimate. I mean, people were legitimately interested. WNBA, doesn't watch it. The college women's basketball got popular because of the LSU girl fighting that Caitlin Clark girl, whatever.
Angel Reese, baby.
Yeah. I said, God, who's the other one? Who's the other LSU girl?
The
That's
coach?
no, the not a basketball player, but she's getting like real popular.
Oh, the gymnast?
Yeah, she was in a
Olivia Coleman. Yeah, she
No,
was in the swimsuit
Olivia
issue.
Coleman's the actress.
Olivia
Oh.
Olivia Dunn.
Dunn.
Olivia Dunn. That's not Coleman.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was
yeah,
a
the one
Mexican
that's like-
invasion. Olivia Dunn.
Did she
She's-
she did a NASCAR
she's-
race this weekend?
I will in a second. Hold on.
She said my pronouns are USA.
Nice.
So yeah, she shocking. Half the country wants her canceled.
I saw a clip for one of the LSU games. It might have been basketball or baseball. I don't know how old it was, but there's a guy who was hitting on a girl, and she was just kind of like in the stands, just kind of like, and like, that guy is going to get in trouble with his wife when he gets home because look like he was drunk, hitting on a chick that's half his age.
No, yeah, and Angel Reese is making millions.
Oh yeah, she's huge. Yeah.
Is that the one who's got in a fight with the other chick?
That's the one that when they showed the picture of her pointing to her ring finger because she was like, "I'm going to get a ring," they thought it was being antagonistic to the other team, even though a girl for the other team literally did the same thing.
Angel is the black girl?
That's a little. I likes my LSU bias there.
I do like my.
it wasn't-
Angel
I mean-
was the white girl or the black girl?
But here's the
Angel
thing.
is the black girl.
Here's the thing. I don't care. Was her response disproportionate? Of course it was. You know what it also did? It put women's basketball on the map for the next couple of years. Something that Connecticut's domination couldn't do to this extent. People are legitimately, because I think Caitlin Clark's coming back. Because yes, you can even leave early for the WNBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember.
But if Angel Reese comes back,
Yeah.
that's bird magic right there. I mean, to a smaller degree, obviously, but I mean that will keep women's basketball interesting for a year. Ha! Oh, my blood runs cold.
My memory has just been sold.
And look at the kids going. What are these old people talking about?
My Angel is a
I mean,
centerfold.
y'all are talking sports. I'm even just in here like, yeah.
We segued over to music. It doesn't.
I'm normally in that boat, Joe.
I'll-
They're talking about LSU.
I'll
which is
go
my
for
home
extra
team.
points and say that's a Jay Giles band.
I don't know. I don't really watch too much sports.
The Jay Giles band. Centerfold. My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold. La 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 la. Angel is a centerfold.
Okay, who was the singer?
I can't. I don't know that singer. That's the thing.
Peter Wolf, right? I think.
I had to look it up.
Yeah, because Jay Giles, like Elvin Bishop, didn't do a lot of his own singing.
But the Jay Giles band sang the song "Fright Night." Who's it gonna be tonight?
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're the main theme song.
So speaking of sports ball, Vank, we are at the halfway point, and the Reds and the Brewers are tied for first. I know you
Nice.
don't care, but I would have never dreamt that because they were supposed to lose 100 games. I don't know how this happened, but
Devil worship. That's all I can think of.
I'll tell you what I said. If you'd have told me that the Reds would be playing meaningful games at any point in this season,
You know what it is? The writers went on strike, so they're not watching any crappy TV anymore.
Oh, maybe that might be it.
well, I'll tell you what. Talk about there could not be a worse time for the writers, and now like the actors are going to join them
The actors are. Yeah, they're saying the actors are probably gonna.
to
dude.
make people realize how little they
Mean?
mean to
Yeah.
the public at this point.
Mhm.
Because every major franchise, well, I should say, 2/3 of the major franchises are failing because of ideology.
Mhm.
And I said, if we don't get a new TV series, will anybody even notice?
Well, the only thing I'm looking forward to is to Justify, which has already been filmed and done with.
I want to see the Bosch and the spinoffs, and we'll get there eventually.
Bosch Legacy already been. Bosch Legacy 2 is coming out this year. It's already been filmed. The only one I can think about would be the third one.
I want to see the J. Edgar series, but I guess we'll have to wait a while. But
I can just get caught up on my reading. I want to go back and read those old Indiana Jones
You know,
novels.
the good thing, Zach, about this No Strike, I can just get more Demon Slayer without having to worry about this.
That's true. You can read it.
there's
Yeah.
so much
One
older
Piece, too.
entertainment to go back and watch or rewatch.
It's the beautiful thing. Japan, they're not in the Writers Guild.
Mangas,
The
animes,
mangas and the animes,
don't
they still
care.
going.
Mm-hmm. Which reminds me, I got to watch the new My Hero Academia season still.
Yeah, I still do too. I got all caught up. I was all swept up in getting caught up on One Piece that I completely neglected My Hero.
Yeah, I've been
just-
going through Dragon Ball GT. Just
Demon Slayer. I
My
made
brother
fun
was
of
trying to get me to read that.
So
one. Dragon Ball.
Zach came on Extreme Movie Show one day because Rob was it last year he had to have surgery or something. So Zach came in to fill his. We did what we'll look forward to. It's coming up for like the summer stuff, and he brings up Demon Slayer. I'm like, what the hell is Demon Slayer?
I brought up a lot of anime. Anime
Yeah.
was a lot of my looking forward to.
Yeah, it was like a top 10 list, right? And he had 5, whatever. And I was like,
Five of
what
them
is-
were animes.
So Demon Slayer, I finally watched this year. I started doing back in January, February. And it was why because on Netflix. They had 3 seasons on Netflix. So I was like, oh, this is actually really good. I'm like, because at first I asked somebody else, he's like, so what's Demon Slayer? And he's like, well, the kid cries a lot. I'm like, damn it, why were all the ones with the kids crying? I gotta watch because now, luckily, he's not as bad as Deku in My Hero Academia. Deku was just, I almost rage quit because of him. That first 2
What?
seasons.
The dumb
oh,
reason
come
their
on,
face.
he was great
I just keep crying all the time. I'm just thinking the smack.
because he's happy for the opportunity.
There you go.
Well,
They're gonna turn Vigilantes into an anime. I read the Vigilantes
but-
spinoff.
Oh, this one?
Yeah,
yeah.
I read they're gonna
Vigilantes?
turn that into an anime. Yeah,
Yeah,
So-
I'm kind of hoping they do. I'm like, what is it? I got
So-
all the volumes. I'm really enjoying that series.
yeah.
Demon Slayer is messed up. Joy, have you watched Demon Slayer or read the mangas?
I actually have not. It's on my list because what is it? Because my wife and I are already watching a few different animes. I mean, of course, My Hero Academia. We're trying to get through Black Clover.
Demon Slayer.
Like Demon Slayer, I think is next on our
Demon
list.
Slayer is I forgot what his I forgot what name it is. Is it Tanto or Tanaka or what is it? Tanjiro?
Tanjiro. Yeah, Tanjiro.
Tanjiro.
Tanjiro,
He's
yeah.
just his dad had passed away, and it's like the late 1800s Japan, almost
Mhm.
let's say maybe the early 1900s because they have electricity there now too. They have light stuff, light poles. But it's about this kid. He's just he lives in the rural part of Japan over and with his family. He makes coal. He chops down trees, makes coal, and then carries it down the mountain and sells it to other people. One day he's coming back in the middle of winter and he finds his whole family slaughtered. It's so messed up. And then, except for his sister, and learns that she's been infected. She was
Par
attacked
for
by
the
a
course with
demon.
an anime though.
Yeah. So, but he's like, this demon slayer comes in, is going to kill her. And he's like, no, it's my sister. And then she actually protects him. Something that demons normally don't do. So they have that strong of a bond. So it's like a brother-sister duo throughout the whole entire series fighting against other demons, trying to find a way to cure her. And it's actually really done really well.
Okay.
You get some other comic relief.
I guess that's why it's popular.
There's another one, the kid who grew up in the woods. He's like, he has a boar on his ears, wears a boar head, and he's just insane. But the funny thing is, people make fun of him because he looks like a girl. He takes mask off. He's got the anime girl face and stuff, and the hair, and they're like.
Interesting.
Then there's another dude in there. He's like, he cried. He's the Deku. He's the one that cries scared. Doesn't want to be a demon slayer. His grandpa forced him into it. He's like, I'm gonna die. We're gonna die. He's like, can you guys let me? Where do you guys go? But when he gets knocked out, he becomes super different personality. Like this, he's like Yu-Gi-Oh! In a sense. It is I just fell in love with the show and just kept watching it and went over and
You watch the movies too?
The movies I usually don't watch movies for OVAs because they're pretty much summaries of the season.
Well, so with Demons, they might have changed it for Netflix. So what they did was after the first season, they did a movie. It was called Mugen
Mhm.
Train, and that's actually direct continuation after season 1. It's not
Yeah.
like an OVA or out of canon or anything.
Yeah, I
actually,
mean-
I went to go see that one. This is how big of a fan I was of the story. I went to go see that in theaters, and it was not the dubbed. It was like the original Japanese with subtitles. I never do that with anime hardly. But I really enjoyed it though.
Yeah, that's how I saw. Was it My Hero Academia 2 Heroes in theaters? It was with the original subbed, only because I bought the wrong
Yeah.
ticket by accident.
The only time, like the only original subbed animes I've been watching was One Piece, because I finally hit the point where they ran out of dubbed episodes, and I was like, I need to keep going because they started to
that
get
was me
really
with
good.
Super. They kept saying, "Well, we can release it,"
Yeah.
and then COVID hit, and I was like, or
Mhm.
actually, it was before COVID. This was like 2016.
I don't think COVID slowed down the dubbing too much because you can do a lot of voice recording.
I take it back. It was
Yeah.
before. It was 2018.
Yeah.
Remember that, or 17, and they just kept like, "Yeah, we're gonna release it. We're gonna release it. Keep releasing." And finally, I said, "Screw it! I'm watching the sub version," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, this is so much better than listening to Chris Schemmel and Monica Ryan." And this is during the whole kick thing, so I was like, I really don't want to listen to Chris Schemmel's voice anymore. It's like I just comes up.
Not a big Chris Schemmel fan.
Well, and he came off as a pompous ass, the whole kick thing. I just got sick of it. Kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I was like, otherwise I used to watch everything with but no, now I just prefer it subbed. It's just much more fun for me. The only thing sucks, I have to I have to read the subtitles. But the good thing about DBZ or another stuff, it goes so slow when they charge up. So I'm like, okay, I can actually have time to read stuff until they start going. Then I feel like Krellin. He's like, I can't watch anything. Where'd they go? Go too fast.
That's how I felt watching DB Super.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? What's going on? It's so erratic, so quick. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not even about the martial arts anymore. It's just about who's got the next power up.
Yep. Jiren looks like it's the most worst.
Yeah, DB Super lost me. By the time I got to the end, I was just like,
Where do we go now? We're gods. Well, we go past god level.
yeah, pretty much. It's like you just keep going. It's like, okay,
Well,
now we're stronger than Beerus. We're stronger than.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually they're just gonna take on they're gonna get stronger than Zeno.
The whole thing, they expanded the universe. Like there's universe 7. There's like a bunch of different multiverses. I'm like, come on, guys, you just guys jumping the shark here now. They had Beerus fight against Goku, and then he went Kaioken.
Yeah, he did Kaioken while Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah, and then the whole impact was destroying the universe, the vibrations, the two mobile forces. And I feel like that's kind of how the Marvel universe is. Whenever the Hulk and somebody Abomination, those buildings are gone. But welcome back, Eric. Eric's like, I leave, and I come back. The nerds.
I kind of feel like Joe did when we were talking sports.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of manga and anime, have you guys ever read Spider-Man Fake Red?
No, I haven't even heard of this.
Oh yeah, no. This one came out actually. Well, this book came out a couple weeks ago, but it's based on. I guess it was a web comic first. Well, not web comics. Well, yeah. I mean, it was a digital first.
Yeah.
Up on Comixology and stuff, and it got canceled after 15 chapters.
Oh.
But actually, I got through it. This was actually a pretty fun read. So basically, what happens is there's this random kid that his name's Yu, and he's just walking one day and just happens to find Spider-Man's costume.
Here comes Spider-Boy.
Right? Well, kind of. So what happens is he gets Spider-Man's costume. He thinks it's a fake costume at first until he puts it on and discovers, the web shooters are still attached. And he's like, holy shit, this is really Spider-Man's costume. And then, someone accidentally sees him in it, and they think he's the real Spider-Man. And there's a burning building a couple blocks away. And he's just like, oh, shit. And they're like, go, Spidey, go. And he's kind of one of those kids where, he's not very popular. He's really terrible in school. Zero confidence. So, but he puts on the costume and he hears people need help. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to rush into it. So because he doesn't have Spider-Man's abilities, the first thing he does is he just runs to the scene and then gets in a cab and the cab drives him over.
Nice.
That's pretty much like the whole thing. Like he's basically because Peter Parker goes missing, so that's like part of the mystery. And then other parts is him trying to like sort of fill in becoming Spider-Man, and then one of his classmates finds out and thinks that he's Spider-Man, so he's like also trying to keep up the charade. And basically, like in certain times, the people of New York sort of like soften the blow, like, "Oh, we're gonna help you, Spidey. We're gonna help you," and they end up like helping him in like big ways. So like he jumps out of a burning building, but he doesn't use the web shooters, and they like catch him in a blanket, or he's got to go on a car chase and he has to jump in a taxi. It's really funny stuff. And I was really disappointed, especially like towards the end too, and Peter Parker finally comes back. And then of course, then the series just sort of ends on a cliffhanger because
I was gonna
canceled.
say,
but
I would run out of web fluids real fast because he doesn't have extra cartridges, and Peter's the one that makes them.
Yeah, well, that was the thing too. Is he he only used the webs sparingly. Like I don't know if like the book never stated that if he knew that they were finite or whatever, but it never really became a problem because he only tried web swinging once, like through the city, and he just ended up just like bouncing off buildings and stuff. So that was pretty much out of there. And then
Just 1 second.
Ash.
He's alive.
And then just against a few villains, he just tried to like do some webbing. Like that was basically it. So, but it's a really fun read if you ever give it a shot.
I never read the Deadpool manga. Apparently, that was kind of popular too.
Yeah, the Deadpool manga was really good.
That was pretty fun.
A lot of the Marvel and DC manga are actually pretty decent. Especially when I was reading Spider-Man Fake Red, I was like, oh my god, man, Japan's writing better Spider-Man comics than Marvel right now.
Well, right now.
When did Ash get COVID?
Earlier this week.
Monday.
This past Monday, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hope you feel better, man.
Take care of yourself, brother.
Either that or he's pregnant. He had 2 lines going across the test.
Man, I said, yeah. God, I keep because I had Trusty got knocked around.
Trusty had it last week.
And Ash obviously is having a tough time with it. How did a guy pushing 60 at the time smoking way too much, fat, get COVID, and basically I've had worse colds.
It affects people
Whatever
different.
you expose yourself to is basically like this is it's built up resilience.
I mean, that's I guess COVID probably looks at the fuck that'd be piling on at this point. We're out of here.
The other germs are like, no, we're here first.
I said my niece, who's a nurse, totally healthy in her 20s, she still has after effects from it, like in and stuff like that. And
Really?
Not only that, I have a lingering cough. I've been having that since.
Joe, our auctions on Saturday nights used to last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I lost and regained my sense of taste on the same auction.
That's interesting.
That was one of our 5-hour options.
It was about 3 hours. I couldn't taste anything, and it truly did come back later that night. Now, smell was gone for about 3 or 4 days.
Ooh, Rhaegar's in.
Other than feeling like somebody was like, it felt like somebody was rubbing when you rub a balloon on somebody's head just so their hair sticks up.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what it felt like. That's all it was, and a head cold.
Yeah, pneumonia is horrible. He said he had it twice. I had walk-in pneumonia twice.
Yeah, pneumonia. I've had pneumonia a few times. That
Boogie
sucks.
flu.
Boogie flu. I actually was the first. I thought I had the flu because I haven't had the flu since I was like 7. I used to get flu shots all the time, but I stopped when I was 18, and I just never got the flu. I never got it.
Yeah, Rhaegar, you're probably smart because I said I didn't get any. No vax, no boosts, and I haven't had I haven't even gotten it a second time that a lot of people do. But.
The only vax I ever got was for pneumonia, and I got that like 4 or 5 years ago. It's supposed to
I got the ones when we were a kid in first grade. They would haul us all into death camps. It felt like that, and they would just stick this giant set of needles in your shoulder and dig for buried treasure. and I swear to God, I couldn't move my arm for days.
All right, I got this
Apparently I
needle right here.
I was pretty much vaccinated against everything. It was like traveling abroad.
Yeah, when you see the needles are like the size of a screwdriver.
Yeah, but and when you're 6 years old, that's what it looked like.
It's a go in your hand. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got COVID in 2020, and I have mild asthma. All it did was made my asthma worse. Now I have
to say pneumonia wasn't as bad as what he's got.
Oh.
Man, that's Ash. In all sincerity, I'm sorry you're going through this, and I hope hope it doesn't last much longer because it's weird. It seems like the healthier you are when you get it, the worse off you are. It seems like.
Yep. Like I said, I have my lingering cough for about 3 years now.
Well,
so So
well, that's because you're too
Yep.
recurring Canadian
I agree.
wildfires.
well, no, that was before the Canadian wildfires. We had the California wildfires, so it never really reached over here.
Well, you looked and sounded like death when you had that. And
I still look like death.
And Venkman refused to concede that it might be COVID. No, it's just
Dude, I was so delirious with COVID. I at NBC.com, I watched all 22 episodes of Kolchak in a row.
Wow.
Because
That's a lot of Kolchak.
I could not fall asleep. No, they're only half an hour.
I don't
For the
know.
most part.
Still.
And so, literally, I went from hot to cold instantly. I had like a fever for about 2.5 weeks. Never broke. I was always staying. And when I take, it would just stay at the same level.
That's
And I remember one day I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna use the bathroom, and I went to go lay down again. I was like, I had like my teeth chattering for about good 30 seconds. And I was just shook for about felt like 30 seconds. Where your body can't stop shaking because of high fever. No, but there was nothing you could do. I'm not gonna go take a test, come in there and tell me like, well, we don't have a vaccine for you. So it's like, I figured, well, if it's COVID, it's COVID, man. It's Darwinism, survival of the fittest.
Yeah. I mean, I only ever got diagnosed with COVID once, and that was about 1.5 years ago. I was mostly just cold and sleepy. And then like 3 days of Dayquil, NyQuil, and that was fine.
Oh
yeah, that sounds like you got it about the same as I did. Although I didn't even need to take medication; it was just there. I mean, I in fact, I'm pretty sure I had it when I was babysitting my brother's store because he was out with COVID, and I know for a fact I had it while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hadn't been tested yet, but when he came back, I went and got tested, and I went in there and I thought the lady was gonna come in like in a hazmat suit, looking like an AIM agent, and
an AIM agent,
and she comes in, she's not even wearing gloves. It's like that's the kind of
Just open up your nostril there.
Yeah, it's like, wait a second, I'm starting to smell a rat here, because maybe I'd gotten my sense of smell back, but it's like, yeah. Or maybe she's just completely immune to it at this point. And she was very, great sense of humor about everything. And it's like, yeah. But so I got that was surprising because I really did think she would, wow, it's raining in California.
No, I take 2 of these every day.
Well,
wait,
okay, that's
you
the
take
problem.
2 1-a-days?
Yeah.
It literally says,
It's supposed to be 1 a day, dude. Like, I take those 2 once a day.
You're just peeing out the extra vitamins.
Exactly.
No, it says right on here. It says 2. Yeah.
Well, then it's false advertising because it says 1 a day is
really
the name of the vitamin.
Mine said, yeah, I get mine. What is it? Mine
Every
says
size 2
1 a day.
Every size 2 gummies.
It's called 1 a day, though.
You only need
something screwy there.
I don't know. My bottle says 1 a day. Like, or take one daily.
I'm pretty sure that so does Venkman's.
Yeah, his bottle says 1 a day.
It's just a brand. It's just a brand name. That's all it is.
It's contradictory.
Well, okay. Apparently, the name is just a suggestion.
Yeah, right.
Oh, like a stop sign. It's a suggestion, but you don't have to do it.
I mean, I've taken.
They should
Dude, since
call it
COVID,
one a
I've taken,
day
like-
and put a question mark at the end.
I've been taking these since COVID. In other words, I had the 2020, so I've been just taking more of these. Plus, it's it's good for your sense. As I get older,
Hey, if one is good,
2 is better.
2 is better.
Why stop at 2 though?
Hey,
Why not
especially
have
the
4?
the purple ones turn your tongue blue.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Guys, I am going to have to bounce. I've got work tomorrow morning, and then I'm trying to go to the gym after that, so I'm already tired just thinking about that. So
Oh,
well,
cool. It's
well-
chest day, arm day, back day, shoulder day, leg
I
day.
think
Whatever
it's gonna be
Jim decides.
core and arms and core day, which is I prefer. I hate leg day. Leg days are the worst. But yeah,
Don't
Yeah,
skip leg day.
A leg day is what's gonna boost your testosterone though.
really? Oh, okay. I did
Mhm.
not know that. Okay,
You know what else boosts your testosterone?
what's that? Brain.
Steroids.
Taking one a day 3 or 4 times.
Taking one a day,
I
three
mean,
times
just
a
look
day.
at that. Look at him up there.
I thought you were gonna say reading this comic or that comic or something like that, or apples. I thought you were gonna say apples.
And I said, we should, before you go, we should promote the Geeky Puppet Show readings tomorrow night. Full scale fossil invasion.
That's true.
Yeah, I still planning on which ones I want to do. If I do some more invaders or try to find a Spider-Man as I mean, we have a lot of people in the cast. We're gonna have everyone but Pixel. That's 8 people.
It's really weird.
I liked your idea about picking. We should maybe read an Avengers from
Yeah.
old timey times or something.
Corvax Saga.
Nah, there's too many people for that. But
We have a
there's too many people in that for that. But
no, what
but,
about Avengers versus Avengers?
that might not be bad.
Annual number was it number 2?
The old Avengers versus the new Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that would be because because the Hulk's in that, and I could bring back the Hulk Hogan voice.
Hulk Hogan returns.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, brother?
Well, you know, dude.
Wait, I know, brother. I'm gonna take these 2 gamma radiated pythons and wrap them around your arms and crush them.
You know,
And
I
what
think-
you gonna do? Silver Age does a pretty decent Dusty Rhodes. So maybe we should just read all the characters as wrestlers.
Oh crap! I'm gonna have to watch a wrestling match to get somebody's voice to do a mimicry of them.
Randy Savage.
Randy-
Greatest of all time.
Ooh. Oh yeah!
I
gonna
hate
hurt my-
you,
That's
Hogan.
gonna
I hate you.
I guess I will
gonna
bring the
hurt after
Playmaker.
5 minutes.
Just watch some Memphis wrestling, dude.
That's gonna make my throat hurt after.
Dude,
like 3 minutes.
Get some early
Hold on,
macho
our-
man.
Ash said you finally watched Rabbit Hole the whole season. What do you think of that, dude? That was an awesome show, man.
All right. I am going to bounce though before I'm sorry, Ash. I'm not trying to bounce before you answer. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you get better. I missed the Monday night late stream. I was going to listen to it as I fell asleep, but I didn't get to. So I'm going to look forward to next time. Joe, good seeing you, man. Hope you're doing well. Breen, RDV, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Y'all have a good one. And
Probably gonna bounce off too. So
I
since
had
we've
a
been going
joke
for
and-
2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours. Well, I mean, what was it when you were doing your comics? Like it took almost a whole hour.
Yeah, Mr. 13 issues.
Well, I'm
Well,
sorry.
13 issues plus what is it, like 15-minute explanations about why you got it. Like,
Well,
I was just
I'll-
sitting there like,
Well,
Jesus
hey,
Christ, dude.
look at the price. Hey, look at it this way. The man takes 2 one-a-days. It's lucky we didn't get 26 reviews.
Would you rather you just show it up and just be like, okay, and drop it off and be like, whatever, you know?
Well,
I mean, we're not doing in-depth reviews. I don't do
Yeah,
videos
I'm
for the
reviewing-
comic book.
whatever from
Your explanation for
wherever.
getting it was in depth enough.
Yeah. Ash got COVID and didn't share.
I know. I was gonna put it in the chat. I know he had COVID. I'm sorry that he had it and then had to cancel the stream due to that. I'm sorry if I didn't enunciate enough on that. But
All right, guys.
okay. There, I said it now. Now I am going to go though.
All right.
Y'all have a good night. You close up shop. See you
Have a
guys.
good night, man.
Good night, guys. We're just gonna be we're ending it right now. For those who stuck around, we commend you. For those who showed up late, glad you can make it. I hope you feel better, Ash. And if you guys want to help with the channel, you can leave a comment down below. Let us know. Do you like it when I go in depth in my reviews of each book, or are you on Joe's side? You're like, shut up, fake man. Just show the book and go to the next one.
Can I be both?
Why not? It's Pride Month. You can be whatever you want.
I
All
identify as long form content.
And that's right. Vegman takes pride in those long reviews.
I do.
No,
And,
you're good at that. I mean, you obviously know we're just giving you shit.
I know. I can't help it that I buy a lot of books. I try to. If I were to just limit my budget to this 3 or 4 books, I feel like, oh, we're done in an hour, okay. And then when somebody shows up at the end, they're like, where's everybody? I like the longer formats. I like hanging out. That's how we spend time talking to each other. Otherwise, it's like once a week I get to see you, Joe. This is the twice I've seen you in a year.
Yeah, that is accurate.
Now we'll never see him again.
Well, maybe let's say. Well, yeah, definitely not next week. So we're gonna be on Kanazawa. So
He's just making up names now, just to not show up.
what? It's a place. It's a place in Japan.
We're American. We don't recognize those places.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, we
doesn't
can't even-
exist.
we can't even find St. Louis.
Yeah,
Well, just talk to the flat earthers. Australia doesn't exist. It's fake.
right.
Get Kyrie Irving on the phone.
That was one of the greatest.
I also want to geek you up a shout out to you. You can also leave if you want to leave $1 or more on our Ko-Fi link. It makes you eligible to basically choose our next live reading or pick out our next retrospective. What comic book you want us to review, and if you want to be on a reading or a panel, you're eligible. Just gotta have a good mic.
Hey, by the way, we're doing another retrospective on Thinking Critical,
Really?
a Batman special from 1982, I think.
Oh,
Must be very
that's
special.
right. You get on Thinking Critical. That's what's up.
One
Just
of
get
these
for the
days,
subscriber count.
I'll have to have Wes come on the Better retrospective channel.
If I found it next to impossible to get him to come on because he's got the time zone plus 3 sons, 7 and under. So he has no because I don't even think he's ever done a Friday night thing with Perch. That's
Yes.
because he has just no time outside of what he does.
Three kids, 7 and under. Man, wait a couple years.
I mean, sure, he still gets those videos out though.
Oh yeah, because I said that's his job, but
Nice
he doesn't.
job, man.
He doesn't get to do a lot of guest stuff.
Yeah.
Because he killed the retrospectives the first time because it was taking up too much time that
Too
he
much
already
time.
didn't have. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I said Wes and I made 2 videos that day. The retrospective, which I absolutely loved every second of, I think might have gotten to 3,000. Made a video bitching about DC, 36.
And
that's
That's
why
how
we
it
don't do
goes. People love the
retros.
hate content.
Yeah.
as far
That's
as
what drives-
retrospectives,
drives views.
Evil Black Cat, it's gonna be me and you doing retrospectives. We do on Fridays because Pixel is busy on Fridays. Now he works. If there's a book you want to do, that's a Marvel book, let me know, and then we can schedule one for tomorrow before I schedule my whole entire life away on Friday night.
And Justin, I'm glad to see that because I said I really like that show.
Yep.
That Comic Book Memories. Have you checked that out yet, Ben?
No.
Saturday morning. I
You-
know you're usually
you-
sleeping in those hours. But,
Well, you introduced me to all the other creature feature or whatever and all that stuff. I've just been like,
well, that's Dr. Silver Age and Shannon's Saturday morning YouTube show.
yeah.
It's basically
I also-
it's the fossils with conversation because there's only 2.
Yeah,
And I really, really,
I've caught what's it in Gratu's. I caught his a couple times. I remember Micah joined him on Saturdays.
yeah.
A lot of times I watch John Comics with Kids, my other friend. He does Saturday morning with his girls and they do reviews.
Well, Rod, he's kind of into graphics a little bit himself, and he named the chat the Peanut Gallery, and he does a Nut of the Week, and Maranya and I have both been nuts.
The nut of the week. That sounds like what East Channel busting a nut.
Nah, we're Peanuts of the Week, but and Higgy Pop was the other Nut of the Week. He's got it now. That dude is a trip. He's basically like if a pro wrestler had a comic book channel.
Yeah,
because he comes down a lot of times in his tank top, and he's pretty well put together. He'll ring the bell to start the video, and
that's not the real Iggy Pop,
is it? No, he guest starred on their show last week though, so I did call him Higgy and the Stooges.
Oh, okay.
Rod didn't get it. That's how he's Shannon did, but I'm not 100% sure Rod got that. But
Wednesday nights are pretty much. So Wednesday nights, I gotta say, there is no reviews except for Secret Invasion on this channel because Superman and Lois is on break now until whenever they decide strike's done, because I don't think they've written the season 4 or even done anything like that.
Yes, Mariah.
Yeah, the only one I care about right now is Cobra Kai.
That's the final season.
Yeah, it still hasn't been worked on them.
But while we're waiting, this Sunday on Extreme Movie Show, we'll be reviewing Harrison Ford's latest addition to the Indiana Jones movies. So that'll be Sunday on Extreme Movie Show.
Of diarrhea. What?
Dial of Destiny. You're my density.
Indiana Jones gets lectured for 2 hours by a Fleabag chick.
That's not Fleabag. That's capitalism.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope you guys have fun tonight. Eat your Wheaties.
Or Wang Chung tonight. There's nothing I can't make into a lyric, Vegman.
Come on, Brain.
Take a free ride.
All right. I've had enough.
I think we've all had enough.
All right, kids. See ya.